can't hear you. Hello? How are you? Hello, stopping up. Okay, raise button to recap you. Okay, everyone, Honda is. Okay, I am very happy to tell you. I told you, உங்களை பார்க்கிறதுக்கு வந்து பெரிய விருந்தாளி வந்திருக்காங்க. President and CEO of Honda Motorcycles Motor India, Mr. Munro Thakur, along with Mr. Murugana, Director of Mitsubishi Group India, President and CEO again, Mr. Munro Thakur, and Mr. Yumida, the Managing Director of Mitsubishi Group India, ரெண்டு பேரும் கொஞ்சம் வந்துருவாங்க. We're over the halfway mark in what's been a very exciting year's racing. 2018 started off in style. We kicked it off in Thailand, where the riders bigged and barged their way onto the podium in what was to be an action-packed event. It was then new territory as we headed down to Australia for the first time, and boy, did that throw up some challenges. It was an absolute cracker of a race. We then went to round 3 in Suzuka, Japan, and it just seemed that there, every race was a photo finish. It was that close. But we're here in India now for round 4, and I'll tell you what, this Madras motor race circuit is different to everything that we've had on the circuit so far. I'm really looking forward to it. It's located near Chennai, and also the Bay of Bengal just sits off to our east. We're up with 3 fantastic races today. We've got the Underbone 150s, of course, which we're about to see on track. Then later on the 250s, and rounding out the day, the 600s. We've got Wee Ling down at pit lane throughout the day, keeping us up to date with all of the information that's happening there. And as always, Meng Heng is with me up here in the box. And of course, he's been out there at this track in the past as well, haven't you, Meng Heng? You've raced here, haven't you?
Yeah, I raced here since the first race here in 1927. And of course, this track got a lot of memories for me. And of course, this track is a bit bumpy, bumpier compared to other circuit, but I think you can see on the, now you can explain to the people that the track, how many circuit length and the total corners there.
Yes, of course, it's 12 corners, a 250 metre long straight. Just looking at the riders and the little bit that I've seen of the track so far, it really seems like a technical track, and the riders don't get much rest.
Yeah, I think there you can see Fakhrusi Shakirin. I think he's fastest in qualifying this morning in the Super Pole. And of course, this track you don't have a lot of long straight, they have a lot of corners here. So definitely it is a skill for the rider's skill, you know, and machine is about maybe 30% or 40%, but more on the rider's skill. And you can see Akid Aziz there on position number 2 there.
Yeah, he's done a good job too. He sits 4th in the championship at the moment. So to get onto the front row of the grid here, that's got to be a good position for him to be. I mean, it's you know, this is the sort of track where a guy like him can actually get a good result.
Yeah, and you can see Helmi Asman there just now on the SCK Racing team there, and of course Haziq is in the front row too with under Umar Racing. Majomoto there.
Yeah, Haziq sits down in 10th position. He's had 1 win, but he's had a lot of DNFs this year.
I think the win was in, if I'm not mistaken, it was in Australia, is it?
The win that he had was in round 2 at Tailem Bend.
Yeah, so Tailem Bend, Australia.
Yeah, won in Australia, yeah. But he had a lot of DNFs, DNF'd double DNF in round 1. And just that win, then another DNF at Suzuka. So unfortunately for him, you know, work to be done.
Yeah, and then this another rider from Philippines, McKinley, and you got to keep an eye on him also. He's quite fast here, so he's a rider to watch out.
Yeah, he's definitely one to watch for, is Kyle McKinley Paz, and of course number 24 there, Pirapong Lubunpin. He's a good rider, a name that we haven't heard a lot about.
Yeah, I mean, he's been riding quite a lot. I think now he's changed the team and all for one team. I think his teammate is Effendi Rosley, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, well, Effendi Rosley, of course, he is, you know, definitely one of the front runners in this field. And you can see we've got some wonderful footage here of some drone footage of the bikes on track, last minute discussions going on. And the lap record is probably going to be beaten here as well, because it's the first time that these guys have come here with the slick tyres. And on Friday in practice, they were absolutely flying.
Yeah, you can see, I think all of them using a slick since this year. You can see all there, you can see Travis Hall from Australia.
Yeah, Travis Hall, he also had a really good qualifying, didn't he? He's put himself in 6th position, which is right up there with the best results that he's had in qualifying.
What do you think about the heat for Travis? What do you think? What do you reckon?
Well, you know, it's going to be difficult for him because he's probably one of the few riders out there that have, you know, he lives in Queensland, which is quite warm, but it's not as warm as a lot of the riders out there have been racing all over the place. They've been in Suzuka or the Malaysian Championship.
Yeah, I think now at the moment the temperature outside is like what, 34, 35?
Yeah, it's certainly very hot. Helmi Asman, of course, sits 7th on the grid. He leads the championship at the moment. He's won a couple of races, so I don't know what happened in qualifying, but I thought he would have been on that front row.
Yeah. As you can see, Effendi Rosley, teammate of Pirapong just now. And Yu Chi Ui was there talking to him. I think Yu Chi Ui, one of the technical people for the team, all for one team there.
Yeah, absolutely. And there's just a shot of the back of the grid there. It's quite a big field that have made their way here to India. Of course, that's Izzat Zaidi, 93 points in the championship. The RCB Yamaha YY paying machine there. And he looks like he means business.
Yeah, he means business. I mean, like for this 150 race, I think you're going to be close. Looking at the times, just not the Super Bowl. But to me, it doesn't matter, you know, whether you're 1 second or 2 seconds slow in the Super Bowl. But when they start the race, it's going to be close.
Yeah, absolutely. And we saw at Suzuka and at Tailem Bend on those bigger tracks, remember that this track's quite short, 3.7 kilometres. Are we going to see the same sort of slipstreaming here?
Yeah, definitely you're going to see a lot of slipstreaming here. But compared to Australia, I think there was only 2 riders ahead in front when they were racing in Tailem Bend. So I think this one will be very close, I think, all of them.
We've got a very good view of the start as well, just from our commentary box. We're just up onto the left of your screen as you look at the screen, so we're going to get a very good start. They're about to head off on their sighting lap, the warm-up lap, of course.
Yeah. And one rider we did talk about is YU Aji, you know. He's somewhere around, I think, on the 3rd row, I think, on the 4th row, I think on 10th.
Yeah, why do you think that is?
There.
As they head off on that warm-up lap. And it's their last little moment now. We'll just run through the grid. It's
Fakruzi starts from pole, Akita Ziz in second, Haziq Ferez in third, Mikhail Paz starts row 2, Pierpong Lumbung in 5th, Travis Hall in 6th, Helmi Asman starts row 3, Effendi Rosley in 8th, and Azat Zaidi in 9th position for him. Then we go to Wayu Trilaksana, the man that you were speaking about before, Ahmed Fazal Sham, of course, Adib Rosley, row 5 is Amarul Arif Musa, Ayman Asman in 14th position, Likan Locke starts in 15th. Row 6 is Adam Faraghi Bobby Farid, and then of course 17th is Saifid Ayman, and 18th Miyu Nakahara, the Japanese, starting from the 6th row of the grid in that 18th position. Yeah, it's quite a bumpy circuit, isn't it? I mean, are they going to be able to, do they have to approach this race differently in the first couple of laps?
Yeah, I think for the underbone, it doesn't really make a big impact, you know, this track. I mean, bumpy a bit, but I think for the next race, the 250 and the 600 definitely will see, you know, the difference, the speed on the bike, you know, and of course the track a bit bumpy, but for underbone, well, 150 I think should be all right for all the riders.
Well, 10 laps around this circuit, it doesn't sound like many laps, but I'll tell you what, it's a pretty physical circuit and there's plenty of overtaking opportunities as well. So I'm really looking forward to seeing this one get underway. Right, who's your pick?
My pick, gonna be a couple of them, I think maybe 4 or 5 of them capable of winning the races here. So I think Helmi Asman is on form, by the way, and of course you can see Akid Aziz there, and even...
Well, I think Aziz Zaidi, he broke the lap record by 2 seconds yesterday, wow. So I would be keeping an eye on him. He didn't get the pole position, Akid Aziz, but you know what? I reckon that as the race settles down, keep an eye on him. Of course, he's on the number 13 machine.
Yeah, and of course, the other rider I'm always looking out is Wayu Aji, where you know he's you can say a veteran rider for this class. He's been racing quite long on this class. I think you gotta keep an eye on Wayu Aji also.
Right. Well, I'm going for Uma Racing this time out, and you're going for Wayu. As they line up on the grid for this 10-lap sprint race. The red flag is out at the front of the field. There's Fakruzi. You can see him. Look how big he is on the bike. Everyone's looking around in anticipation. The green flag's waved at the back. Oh, we've got someone off the bike there. That's going to have to be. The red lights are on, and they're off. That was a pretty tight start. And as we look into, who is that? Is that Wayu in the lead there at the moment? It's hard to tell. There's 4 or 5 of them as they turn into turn one.
Helmi Asman.
Helmi Asman, he's always a good starter, and looks like it's him there. That's is it? Haziq?
I think it's Haziq there. Yeah.
Haziq's up there as well, and as we head through,
there's that, the team 1 XOX team.
That's Saif Ayman. Unfortunately, there's a couple down, 3 down. 4. Oh, that's not the way that you want to start off. Let's hope that there's nothing on the circuit. One of the riders is up there already. It seemed to be down in the pack a little bit, but the main group is still up and running. Look at them go. How aggressive are they as they head off on this first lap? In through the back of the circuit here. This is part of the circuit. They really got to be inch perfect, don't they? It's quite
have
bumpy.
to be perfect. It's a bit bumpy if you're off the racing line, and of course you can see Effendi Rosley there is leading. I think Effendi Rosley is leading at the moment.
Oh, another moment there for one of the guys in the middle of the pack there. As we can see at the moment, Fakruzi's up there. Haziq Ferrer, who's up there as well. Mikhail Kyle Paz is up there too.
I think one of them is Wayu in the
crowd. How lucky was that? Yep.
Sorry.
I'll tell you what, you need to look at what's happening in front and not get behind, but they still all together at the moment as they head through this section. It's just such a tight, twisty circuit, and you can see the bikes moving around.
Yeah, he's still moving around. You can see it's quite bumpy, especially in the last turn here when you come up on the last corner.
I'll tell you what, this is one of the most aggressive first laps that I've seen in a long, long time, and it is that Yamaha man out front at the moment, looking behind him to see the Helmi Asman's in there as well. Fakruzi is in 4th position. Pierpong is in 5th. Effendi Rosli's in 6th. It's a massive group out there at the front at the moment.
Yeah, I think I can tell you the rider that went down. I think Wayu is down, Aiman Asman, Amirul Afiq, and Adam Fitri Bobby, and Lee Kan Lok. All of them crashed just now.
So, hang on, are you telling me, where's Asman? Did Asman go down in that crash?
Yeah, Aiman Asman.
So the championship leader's already out?
No, I think, I'm not sure.
Oh, I can't see him there.
Yeah, I don't see his name.
So he's down in 11th position, is Helmi Asman. But as you can see with the tightness of this group at the moment as they head into the final sector here. And that looks like for Cruzy out front at the moment, it's pretty hard to not pick him. He's so big on the bike.
Yeah, he's good. You can see he got the long legs, you know, how everything's sticking out from the bike. It's like a cricket like that.
Well, yeah, I call him.
What do you reckon?
A lot of the guys call him the long man, but I don't.
Okay.
I think he needs more respect than that to be able to do what he's doing. I call him the crew.
You can see the way he rides. You can when the knee sticking out, it looks like a cricket coming up, you know, the leg.
Yeah, and of course there's Effendi Rosli there, just nipped into 3rd position. What a great dive up the inside for him.
This one looked like they're doing the last lap race, you know. Everybody, you know, in one corner,
I know, this
they're like,
is
what, 5, 6
crazy. There he is again, Rosli just sitting there on the red machine in 3rd position at the moment. Effendi Rosli definitely trying to make his way to the front of the pack. For Cruzy sits in 2nd at the moment. And out front, Cole McKinley Paz on the number 123 machine saying, come on guys, it's no fun out there on my own.
Yeah, I think he's been riding very well, McKinley Paz here these few races.
So head down that start-finish straight, tucked in is Cole McKinley Paz, and up the inside, what a great move there by Facruzzi, dives into the lead. But he's not going to have it that way for long. Effendi Rosli's there as well, sitting in 4th. Haziq Faria is hanging into that group, just perhaps a small gap back to Pirapong in 5th position there, and Akid Aziz is also there. Travis Hall's in 8th, so he's gone down a couple of positions from his starting spot on the grid. But look how tucked in is Facruzzi. He really is tucked in behind the screen, and he does miss out in that slipstream, but he makes it all up under brakes. Effendi Rosli runs a bit wide, but he manages to get into the lead. Haziq is in that group too. Everybody's in that group. They haven't been able to split up, have they?
I think the other rider I'm looking at is Vasily Sham. They've been riding very well these couple of races. You can see him now, and I think he's 7th at the moment.
Well, one thing's for sure, we have a new lap record at a 53.4. Pretty sure that would be the case, because that's just 0.4 off of...
I think some of them doing 52, Steve.
Oh yeah, 52.1
by Ahmad Vasily Sham.
That is incredible.
That's
when we look at
the fastest lap, I think.
Yeah, it is. I mean, 53 in qualifying,
and
so 52.0. That's an incredible lap time.
It's really fast.
They are absolutely smashing it out. But Effendi Rosli wants more of the lead. He nearly gets his front wheel taken out, but he holds it together. I'll tell you what, there's still 8 laps to go in this one.
Yeah, this one looks like they are going for the last lap, the final lap, you know. There was like 3 or 4 overtaking in the corner.
Yeah, Nakahara is down in 12th. Is it in 11th position? Ayman is down in 13th. Wayu's way back in 15th. Do you think he was one of the ones that came off earlier on?
Yeah, I think he crashed just now, and the start there, I think he had a crash there. So I think...
Yeah, this is a pivotal race for the championship. It's going to be interesting to see how it all plans out with the championship points and the manufacturer's points at the end of this one.
And the other 2 rider I'm looking at now is there's oil flag on the track. That means there's somebody spilling oil on the track, but can't really see.
Yeah, it looks like they're cooking it, so perhaps sometimes they put it out when there's danger, and there was one of the bikes from one of the early crash right in a dangerous spot on the side of the track there. So
this is a precaution flag, you know, just to tell the riders that something is on the track.
Yeah. But I don't think that these guys are listening too hard at the moment. Look at them go. And look at Rosli, Effendi Rosli. He was leading half a lap ago. He's way back in 6th position at the moment. What do you need to do in this situation? I mean, how can you guarantee? To me, it reminds me of the Tour de France, where you've got to just stay in that front group.
Yeah, you got to stay in the front group. I mean, like, not really in front, maybe 4th or 5th, you know, if you want to win the race. So 4th or 5th here is... There you can see now Fastly Jam is trying to get into the front group there.
I'll tell you what, McKinley Paz is certainly having a very good race. He's been leading this race perhaps more than the other guys. You know, he really is there. Perhaps he's the one at this stage that we should have picked for the win, because we got
somebody in here. I think that is Ali Khan Lok from Vietnam. I think
could have been Eamon, who's just come into the pits.
I think that is the Vietnam rider.
But for Cruz, he's still hanging in there as well. But it is McKinley Kyle Paz out front at the moment. Nice line onto that start-finish straight. He has a look around to see if he's managed to break the group up, but everybody's still there, and in doing so, he's lost 2 spots, goes back to 3rd position.
You can see the turn 1 also quite bumpy actually. You can see the bike hopping around there.
Yeah, and
don't forget about this Izzat Zaidi, you know, and of course Izzat Zaidi won a race before, so he's a rider to watch out because he's been playing very safe.
Yeah, absolutely.
Races.
Yeah, I mean, Izzat Zaidi, he's had the win. Oh, bit of a moment there for one of the guys as they ran off the track. Oh no, we've got some issues there.
I think
that's that's McKinley Paz.
Yeah,
is it?
Yeah, I think bike come out from the smoke come out from the machine there. I'm not sure.
Yeah.
From the exhaust pipe.
Yeah, was that from the pipe or perhaps something's
I think that's
rubbing?
the exhaust pipe. I think something wrong with the machine.
Yeah, well, it's still running okay at the moment. Well, it's the smoke coming out the pipe. It still seems to be running fine. What could it be?
Yeah, but I think that he's slowing down. He's right at the back of the pack now.
He had a bit of a moment there too, and he's running wide, so not what McKinley Paz wanted. Cole McKinley Paz, of course, was leading this race, but now it's Helmy Asman and for Cruz out the front.
Looks like the Honda are really quick here.
Yeah,
both the Honda here,
of course, is up there as well, and. Still 6 laps to go in this one. I mean, what about this track? I mean, some of the riders say it's one of the most technical that we come to.
Yeah, technical. It's quite tiring actually.
What makes it technical?
Because it's got so many turns, left and right. You know, you don't have time to rest. You know.
Yeah, is it an easy track to learn?
Yeah, but it's bumpy. You have to hold on to the bike really. You know, all your strength you have to be on there.
I mean, we've seen a lot of these guys as number 32 Helmy Asman leads at the moment. We've seen a lot of these guys have little twitches and
they can see Fazli there leading the pack now.
Yep, it's good ride there by him. He's doing a fantastic job, but back in 3rd position at the moment though.
I think the Honda have a better top speed than the Yamaha here at the moment, but the acceleration looks like the Yamaha getting the edge from the Honda.
Is it the sort of track where you need top speed or you need good grip?
Yeah, because you need some top speed and some acceleration, but the Yamaha is good and maybe in the mid-range.
Look at Fazli. Fazli goes through into the lead. What a great manoeuvre that was as he flips through into that top part of the circuit there. He is just starting to tuck into the thing and into the slipstream there. But they're all sort of, could they be slowing down? There was a forecast of rain. I don't want to say it is raining, but could there be a few spots?
No, but I think it's still hot. I don't think they are raining at the track at the moment.
No, the forecast is that it is going to rain at some point, and I mean, at this point, it's still looking pretty dry.
At the moment, McKinley is still on the track. He's at the moment is 5th. The other one, I think that is Akid Aziz, if I'm not mistaken. The bike had come out with the exhaust, the smoke.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Now he's like, 33 seconds behind the leaders.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah.
Because Cole McKinley Paz is still in that group, and it's Helmy Asman's up there still. Of course, Fazli leads this one at the moment. As he heads over the line, Helmy Asman, though, in the slipstream. Is he going to go past? No. Or does he? I reckon it is Cole McKinley Paz.
Yeah.
I reckon it is Cole McKinley Paz because there's still a little bit of smoke there.
But I don't see Akid Aziz at the moment. We still haven't passed the finishing line yet.
No, that is true. So yeah, looks like it might be all over for him.
Yeah, I think Akid Aziz have a problem with the machine.
Yeah, okay. Well, that's unfortunately for him, but it's Helmy Asman not having it all his own way.
Akid Aziz there, you can see,
yeah,
number 13.
Yeah.
I think having problem.
Okay, so that's unfortunately
Oh, that's
that's,
McKinley.
McKinley Cole Paz. It's all over the Uma Racing man. Unfortunately for him, he had such a great result last time out. Really starting to come to grips with that machine, but he's pushing it back to the pits, and unfortunately for him, his day's over. But remember, he gets another shot tomorrow, so we will see him back in action tomorrow. 4 laps to go here now. It's Dib Rosalie up near the front at the moment. Last lap was a 54.1, so he's dropped off the pace a little bit compared to the other guys. Best lap so far of the race in the 52s. I don't think anyone's cracked into a 51 yet. Knee down, that's Helmy Asman out front. Fazli, of course, is up there as well, just sitting in that second position at the moment. Cruzy is right at the back of that pack now.
Haziq is there.
Haziq, yeah, Haziq is there as well. Look at Cruzy trying to find his way up the inside there. Haziq doing a good job. He's another rider that's impressed lately. Haziq, he's certainly had some good results. So head on to that start-finish straight. Do you think anyone out there at the moment, Meng Heng, is just keeping something in the bag?
I think 5 of them are capable of winning. You got to keep an eye on. I mean, like you can see, Haziq is quite strong here. Haziq is strong, but.
So you think that Haziq could be the man? We've got Helmy Asman leading at the moment. Fazli is doing his fair share of work up the front as well. So Fazli, of course, there he is up there. He's going round the outside, up the inside, taking different lines, slipstreaming. He's doing a really good job on that machine. He's good on the brakes too. For you, what's the hardest part of this circuit? Is it all difficult, or is there one particular area? Oh, look, here we go.
He's pointing at the back. You follow me. You know, we got to make a break from the rest of the riders.
Yeah, well, I don't know if they.
I don't know whether he's pointing to Fazli or pointing to Fakhruzi.
Yeah, I think he was pointing to Fazli there, but I just can't see how that's going to work. I guess he wants them to try and work together, and they have pulled out a couple of bike lengths.
Yeah, but I think
definitely
when it comes to braking, you can see Haziq and Pirapong just right behind them.
Yeah, of course, Pirapong in that group as well. In the 4th position at the moment, another rider who's really come out of his shell. He's doing a really good job. He hasn't really led much, but he's been able to just like hang in there, hasn't he? And I don't know, perhaps he's riding a smart race.
Maybe he's riding a smart race. Looking at it, you know.
I mean, look how smooth he looks there. He looks very smooth.
Yeah, he don't have any problem. You can see he's so smooth on the, coming up from the corners and entering all this.
I mean, with coming up to 3 laps to go, do these guys have to conserve these Dunlop slicks? Do they have to conserve?
I think so. But looks like all of them are doing 52s at the moment.
It's
52s are very fast time here for the Underbun.
It's a really fast time. Those slicks certainly must be making a big difference. It's Fazli and of course Helmy Asman out front at the moment. For Cruzy seems to be stuck in that 3rd position, and is that for Cruzy, and then it's Haziq Faria in 4th. So Pirapong in 5th position. Travis Hall's moved up to 6th.
But I'm looking at the result now. You can see Travis Hall is up to 6th now. Travis has been doing a great job for Travis, and of course Nakahara also in 10th place now. Yeah,
that's good for Nakahara actually. He's had some, he's really adapting well to this class, and sometimes these riders, they just need to get a bit of a sniff. There's that group, that second group.
Yeah, you got Travis Hall leading the group now at the moment.
And you know what? They're not that far off the leading group, are they?
Yeah, unless the front group did do a silly mistake, so the second group.
I don't think that anyone in that second group is going to win the race, but they can take away. Oh, we've had someone in the dirt there.
Yeah,
was that for Cruzy?
Yeah.
Okay, he's been looking like he's been taking some pretty crazy lines, and that was one
but it was raining here yesterday because all the grass is wet, so it's dangerous for you to go onto the grass, so try to avoid the grass, I think.
I mean, for Cruzy, can't wait for the last lap to get a slipstream, can he? He's too big.
Yeah, I mean, for Helmy Asman, I think should be alright, but looks like now Fazli Shami have a small gap
Yeah.
from Fakrusi.
That's about 2 or 3 bike lengths now, and he's managed to hold it off as they head into turn 1.
This is the last lap, Steve.
Last lap. This is important, and it looks like perhaps that Fazli's trying to make a break on this group, but Helmi Asman's having nothing. A bit of a mistake there by Fazli. He's been caught up run wide, and now Helmi Asman takes up the front of the pack. Of course, for Cruzy's in there too, and the rest of the group. Pirapong's there, and also Haziq Faria is there. So anybody can win this one. Who's that that's just drifted off the back there?
It looks like Fazli going to go in.
Nice job by Fazli. He's got made up from that mistake that he made earlier on. Things are starting to get serious now. There's less than a couple of kilometres to go, but Helmi Asman goes up the inside and
you can see Pirapong straight going onto Fakrusi.
More smoke there from one of the guys out there in this leading pack at the moment. I didn't quite catch who it was.
Yeah, I think that is Haziq's machine there.
Yeah, I think it might have perhaps been a knee slide or something. Perhaps, I mean, the angles that these guys go. Slipstreaming now. There's not much left. There's Fazli hard on the brakes as he gets into the last complex. And he's taking the lead at the moment, but that doesn't mean he's won this one because there's still track time to be had here for the last lap. They come down, they're into the last kilometre of this racetrack here in India, the Madras Motor Racetrack. And it's getting serious now. They've tightened up. Helmi Asman tries to go around the outside. He can't do it. For Cruzy's back in the pack. Sitting in third is Haziq Faria.
It's gonna be close.
They head down the hill. Helmi Asman can't do it there. They're coming round now. Tight line. Oh, he's had a couple of moments, but over the line it could be Fazli. Fazli's got this one. And I tell you what, I could not see who got second. I think it was Asman in second. And Pirapong, we said that it was riding smooth, and he ended up taking third position with Fakrusi in fourth and Haziq Faria in fifth position. Adib Rosley in sixth, and Travis Hall takes seventh. So what a race that was.
Yeah, I mean, like this, I was talking about Fazli just now, you know, we didn't see him. Then suddenly he just popped up from nowhere.
Yeah, I mean, that was an absolute incredible race. The loser though, Helmi Asman, he's sitting in second. Well, not really a loser. I mean, he leads the championship at the moment, but he's, you know, he could have made even more points on Fazli, but he gets second position. But what about Ahmed Fazli Sham? I mean, that's a great result for him.
Yeah, he's an experienced rider, a veteran rider, has been riding this series for quite some time.
Yeah, so, but you know what? If I look at his results this year, they've been pretty poor. So
yeah, I mean, like they have been doing a lot of R&D on the machine. You know, it's a new team, so a lot of things for them to learn. So now they achieve what they want. They have won the ARC race first time. So I think it's good for the team.
Yeah, I think it's a really good result for the team, and you can see them there, the Onyx OX team.
Yeah, you can see the team boss there. So
they're
happy, you know.
Pretty happy, heading down to the podium, of course, aren't they?
For the team award.
And I don't think you can believe that. What do you think?
Yeah, I think, I mean, they believe in themselves, the most important thing, you know. So, of course, I always like to see Fazli on the podium. Yeah, you can see the team boss very emotional. You know, it's like Fujiwara now. We have another Fujiwara now.
I mean, and when you consider that, I mean, he started that race in 11th position.
Yeah, I did talk about Fazli just now. Look out for Fazli just now when I.
Yeah, you did. Yeah, you did. So that was a great result. And there are your results. Ahmed Fazli Sham takes the win from Helmi Asman in second. Pirapong Lunbipeng in third. Fakrusi in fourth. Haziq Fariz. And then, of course, it's Adib Rosley. Travis Hall takes seventh. Azit Zaidi in eighth position. Effendi Rosley in ninth. And, of course, Nakahara, the Japanese, on the Yamaha, takes out to the 10th. Then it was 11th was Ayman Asman. 12th was McKinley Kyle Paz. Of course, these guys failed to finish. Akita Aziz didn't finish either. Likan Lok failed to finish. Trilik Sana and Amarul Arif Musa failed to finish, as did Bobby Farid and Syakun Ayman. It was a pretty hectic race out there, really, wasn't it?
Yeah, hectic actually, but because of some of them, they crashed earlier. If not, it's going to be more hectic than this one.
Yeah, no, absolutely. It was, you know, a race where, I mean, so many people just didn't finish. I mean, 4 or 5 guys taken out in one incident, a couple of mechanicals.
Yeah, I think maybe there are 4 or 5 top riders there that are capable of winning, you know.
Do you think that that could be to do with, do you think it could be possible that, you know, these guys, with this heat, this track, the bumps, they're going to have to do a lot of work tonight, aren't they, to turn it around if they can?
Because like a underbone bike, Steve, because once you get the slipstreaming, the rev is different, it's higher rev. So the bike, you know, they have problem with the bike. The percentage is very high.
So, I mean, how close are these things to the limit, do you reckon?
Yeah, I think they are, for this small underbone bike, they are pulling like maybe 13 to 14,000 rev.
And
so
how does that compare to standard? You know,
standard is like maybe 10,000, 11,000, that's it.
Wow.
This is pulling like 13 to 14,000 rev.
Massive crowd here in India, as you can see, all the kids over there in the Idemitsu Honda stand, of course.
The grandstand, and of course this one made of bamboo, Steve.
Yeah, I know, you were telling me that, weren't
Yeah.
you? It's, I mean, what was the first year that you came here?
I came here the first year, 97. The grandstand, you know, were made of bamboo, same like this. But now when we came back here, it's still made of bamboo, so it's very interesting.
Yeah, pretty incredible. And I mean,
Yeah.
you've been coming here for a long, long time, so it's really incredible stuff to see. And that was just an incredible race to start off the weekend. I don't know about you, but my heart is still pumping.
I think we got to go down to Huiling,
Right.
she said they are.
Let's head down to Wheeling. Yeah, we're just having a couple of audio problems down there on the grid, of course, here in India. We don't come here very often, so as soon as we get that sorted, hopefully we'll be able to get down to Wheeling. But, I mean, that was a great race. Of course, we'll just run over the results again. Fazli Sham, you saw it, you thought it could happen, but when I looked at his results throughout the year, you know, he hadn't really done a lot.
Yeah, so they've been doing, like I said, they've been doing a lot of R&Ds on the machine, you know. So the rider get new team, so they get used to it. So now they're getting the result, you know, it pay off. So it's good for the team and good for the sport, actually.
So all these, I mean, obviously these guys use Yamaha machinery, the 1XOX TKKR racing team. And, you know, will they be looking at some of the other Yamaha teams and perhaps trying to copy, or they do their own in-house?
I think they will try to do their own first and see how it goes. You know, if they can get something in, and they try to put it and see how it goes.
Right, let's head back to... Okay, so... Yeah, and of course, Travis Hall, what a result for him. What a result for him. Yeah, and you know what? What we're going to do now is we're going to have a look at the highlights of that race, because it was an absolute cracker, and we couldn't have started off a better way than this. As they headed off from the start line in this 10-lap race, it was anybody's race at this point. Absolutely crazy. Helmi Asman was up there from the start, as was Jormad Fazil Sham. He made a great start from 11th into that group, but then we had a massive crash early on where we lost 3 or 4 guys. But of course, number 36, Effendi Rosley, was in that group there. For Cruzy, had a bit of a problem there and collected his teammate. They had a bit of a wave, but meanwhile, back out front, for Cruzy thought, you know what? There's a bit of a gap here. Effendi Rosley, though, sitting in third, he thought he was looking pretty. 1, 2, 3, Kyle Paz. He led more than not, had a bit of a battle with that man, but then we saw a bit of smoke coming out of Kyle Paz's bike, didn't we?
Yeah, Carl passed bike, and after that he stopped the bike, and then he stopped at the side of the track. So I think also Akid Aziz also have a problem on the machine. So
Yeah, absolutely. So there we go as they headed up through again, once again for Cruzier. There's that smoke that we saw from Kyle Paz that would see him end up back in the pit box nice and early. But at that point, Fazli said, yep, thank you very much. That's one less to worry about. So he ended up getting back up the front. Of course, Helmi Asman was there. Pirapong Luibun was there, and he did a great job at just staying in the background there. There's the second group, of course, Travis Hall having one of his best rides leading that group, but he got passed by Dib Rosley. So unfortunately for him, he ended up 7th, but the second group did a fantastic job, a really good job. But it was all Helmi Asman up front as they headed in with Fakruzi there, and this just things started to get crazy, didn't they, at this point?
Yeah, it looks like, Fastly and the Hondas, Hondas and the Yamaha looks very equally fast now at the moment.
Yeah, this last lap was an absolute cracker, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Fazli, he got out there, he made a bit of a gap, and at that point we thought that he wouldn't be able to bring it back, but Helmi Asman did manage to get in front for a second, but Fazli got back in front, and at that point he still had a lot of pressure to contend through, but he already took his hand off the handlebar before he guaranteed the win. So I mean, he was pretty happy, and everyone's happy with that. And why wouldn't you be happy? Because that was a cracker of a race.
You can see he's a veteran rider. He don't look back behind. He just concentrate on the front,
Well, we're about to begin the podium ceremony for the under 150cc race.
Okay. So what we're going to do now is we will head down to the podium, and we will be able to see the guys and get the respect as they head up onto the grid. Of course, that is your third place man, Pirapong Luibun. A great result for him.
Yeah, great result for Thailand as well.
And then in second position, of course, Helmi Asman, man who leads the championship. And boy, do you think he was expecting it at the start of the weekend? I don't know.
I don't think so. I think after that, after testing the bike, feel like the bike is getting better and better. So confident of winning is very high for him now.
Yeah, Ahmed Fazli Sham, of course, takes the win for the ONXO team. It was a brilliant result for him. ONXOX TKKR Racing Team. Let's pause for the national anthem. What a great job there by those three riders. And of course, there's Mr. Dion Delato, the FIM Asia Safety Officer. Come all the way here this weekend to hand out the trophies, and it's good to see.
Yeah, I mean, like all the FIM jury get to hand out all the trophy for some of the riders.
Well, absolutely. I mean, that's definitely a hard job that those guys have got, but they keep the sport fair. And guys like this man, Ahmed Fazli Sham.
I think the most happiest guy is this guy taking the award. They have been dreaming of taking the award for so long.
So how long have they been doing this? There is your podium underbone podium.
I think last year they have been doing the ARC race, you know, so this is the first win for them, I think.
Well, that's pretty incredible stuff,
Yeah,
isn't
incredible
it?
stuff for the team.
I'm sure that they're going to have a great night tonight. A few chats and
Yeah, of course, great party for the team
yeah,
tonight.
big party.
But they got to think of tomorrow. They got another race for tomorrow.
Let's have a look at the championship, though. It's not over yet. We've still got tomorrow to come. But Helmi Asman leads with 114 points over Azit Zaidi in second with 101. Wayu had a really bad day, 72 points. Akid Aziz from Malaysia, of course, in fourth. Ahmad Fazli Sham, that's done his championship, no harm, in fifth. Effendi Rosley sits in sixth. Gupta Kresna, who wasn't here this weekend, unfortunately, in seventh. Cyril Amin, of course, in eighth. Haziq Fariz, who had a good race as well, in ninth. And Fakruzi sits in 10th position. 11th is Adib Rosley. Amrul Arif Musa in 12th. Pirapong Lumpeng, Peng, who had a really good race, in 13th. Ayman Asman, who didn't finish, in 14th. Kinley Cole Paz in 15th. Travis Hall, who had a good race, also in 16th. Heikel Akmal in 17th. Hein Min Sung in 18th. Nakahara, who also rode well today, in 19th. And Nguyen Vu Tung in 20th. So a great result there for the championship as well. And really good to see. Right, let's have a commercial break, and when we get back, we'll be back with the 250s, the Asia Production 250s. Hello and welcome back. Of course, we've got the AP Production 250 race coming up. Can anyone stop that man, Reza Danica? I don't know. We will find out in a minute. But I tell you what, there's been a lot of racing happening around the world, including the Suzuka 8 hours last weekend and the Suzuka 4 hours, which a lot of the Asia Road Racing Championship teams competed in. Of course, Anapab Samoon was there with Pierbong, Yamaha Thailand, Astra Honda, AP Honda, and the Hung Ling Yamaha team were all there. And guess what? It was the the Thailand Yamaha team that took it out. So what better way to celebrate than to have a look at a montage? Well, what a result for all of our guys, but especially the Yamaha team. It was a fantastic result for Yamaha Thailand. But what we'll do now is qualifying here in the 250 class was absolutely scintillating. So we are going to have a quick look at a recap of the qualifying sessions.
So far, what we've seen yesterday was
There's Anapab Samoon, of course, who was out there, and he was one of the guys that raced at Suzuka in those treacherous conditions. And I'll tell you what, Anapab is probably going to be on for a good result here this weekend.
Yeah, I think he's the one you got to keep an eye for. You know, he's a very hard-working rider, as I say. You know, I always like to see the way he rides.
Can anyone stop that man though on the 123 Astra Honda Racing team?
Reza Danica?
Yeah.
Looks like this track gonna be tough, but I think all of them maybe. I think Danica, Reza. Looking at the qualifying result here, Anupat is quite fast, and even Mario Super Mario, you know, Mario Aji.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's one of the rider we need to to look into also. He's a very fast rider and very young rider.
One guy that's been going good here as well is Ray Ronaldo Ratatouille. Yeah, he's been having a great ride. He qualified in second. We saw him a bit earlier on, and of course we're looking at now the number 96. That's Setawan.
Angie, yeah.
Angie Setawan there. You can see even here on this 250 on this track, we saw the underbones and the amount of slipstreaming that they've done, but also these 250s, they benefit from that here as well.
Yeah, I mean, it's still bumpy. You can see the bikes are, really drifting around. When they hit the bump, you can see the bike just moving. So it's quite tricky actually.
Yeah, I guess they've got to hold incredible corner speeds there. Of course, Kawasaki man there.
Yeah, I think here fitness is really important for all the riders. Fitness. If you are not that fit, so you're gonna pay a very hefty. The race is gonna be long race, so it's gonna be hot.
What about Andy Fadley?
Andy Fadley on the Kawasaki. It looks like the Kawasaki. We have spoken to Fujiwara. You see the 600, and even the 250s chassis is not as what they want for this track. But we will have a look later on and see how.
Yeah, of course, it was that man though, Danica Reza, who got pole position. What a great result for him.
Yeah,
and, Reza Danica Arens.
Always he's the one to look for, the pole position guy.
I guess the thing is, when you consider, if you want to look at his results, he was on the podium first time out in Thailand in race 1, and he's won 4 in a row now.
Yeah, 4 in a row. So I hope that some of the riders will give some,
Has his name popped up? I know a lot of the guys, as we have another quick look at the track, 3.74 kilometres long, a lot of the guys have been racing at Suzuka or the Malaysian Road Superbike Championship last weekend as well. Has he been out and about riding around that you know of? Danica Reza.
Oh no, he didn't race there.
So he hasn't been anywhere?
No, I don't think so. I think some of them race in Suzuka, So I think we've been talking to him back when we came back from Japan. Remember, he's a really small guy.
Yeah, he is.
Yeah, so looks like a very smart rider actually.
Yeah, he is a smart rider, and I guess the thing that grabs me my attention to him is that like he's not a guy that seems to need an incredible amount of track time. I mean, all these other guys are riding
a lot of track
everywhere.
time. Yeah, but except for him, I don't see anywhere he raced. But anyway, we'll see. You can see some of the team pour water onto the rider's head. I think it should be really humid outside there, humid and hot.
Yeah, we just caught a quick glimpse there of course, a fifth on the number 50 Yamaha, the CKJ Yamaha machine.
I think Afif has been doing quite well this couple of races. He has been in the top 5, I think, in the last race.
Yeah, he has. It's been a bit of a topsy-turvy year in the 250 class, of course. We all thought it was going to be this man, Super Mario, who seemed so strong at the start of the year.
Yeah, I think he did race the Asia Talent Cup last week in Sepang last year.
He did he?
Yeah.
Okay. That's the other thing I was going to ask you about these guys.
Yeah, but for Danica Reza, he didn't race that one.
Yeah, so
only for Super Mario.
As an example, you've got Anupab Samoon, who
for the 4-hour race.
Yeah, but he races here on a 250, and he can ride a 250, and then of course he can ride a 600 as well, which he did at the Suzuka 8-hour.
Yeah.
So going to be interesting to see what he can do.
I think Huiling is outside at the grid there. I think, I don't know, they need to talk to Huiling. Huiling need to...
Right, let's head down to Wei Ling.
CC, the temperatures on the track is starting to heat up, and on pole position we have championship leader Reza Danica. Reza, of course, going to be a factor for long race today. How are you to manage yourself physically and also your machine?
Yeah, today very hot condition, more hot than yesterday practice. I think this will be hard for the race, but I will try maximum for my self, and hope I can do good, get the win.
Thank you so much, Reza. Good luck for race 1. And starting second on the grid, his best qualifying position this season so far, Ray Ratuku. I know you're very happy this morning, getting second, of course. Starting in the middle of the front row, that's a very good position to be at. How are you looking forward for race 1?
For the rest, I try my best for this race 1. I hope get podium.
Alright, thank you so much, Ray. Good luck for race 1 and completing the front row today. We have, of course, one of Reza Danika's main rival this season, Anupap Samun. So you are fresh off your victory from the Suzuka 4-hour endurance race, immediately coming here to India to take on the hot weather here. So how are you looking forward to race 1?
Today very hot. I don't believe, but from practice 1, 2, 3 by very good, very more good. But qualify, sometimes I not see the line and all rider very slow. Yes. Okay. Today I make the bet again from yesterday. Yes.
Right, thank you so much, Anupap. Good luck for race 1. Back to Steve and Meng Heng in the studio.
It's always good to hear from the front row, isn't it? Everyone seems pretty confident out there.
Yeah, I mean, I start off the race, everybody's confident. But the most important thing here on the 250s, you know, they got like what, 20, I think they have 24 bikes. Yeah, they have 24 bikes on the grid for this race. So there'll be a lot of bikes there. So
yeah, absolutely. It's going to be absolutely incredible to see them all out there as well. And the more the better, and it makes it so tight as well out on track, doesn't it? You can see there's Mario, Suryo, Aji. You've got to be, if you were him, what would you be thinking? I mean, Danica Reza's just flying away with it at the moment.
Yeah. So for him, I think definitely there will be no team instruction. I hope not. So we'll see. There, Rafiq Topan, and we have been spoken to him this morning.
Yeah,
so,
we did. Yeah.
Yeah, he's an ex Moto2 racer, and I don't know. He's been quite tough these few races. You know, he's been doing, but luck not on his side. Normally, he will a lot of, I think, 2 DNF.
Yeah,
on his results, I think.
Yeah, he has. I guess it's hard, you know, like it's been a few years since he raced in Moto 2. 2013, I think he said it was. So he's made his way back now. Pirapong Bunalet, of course, qualified 7th in Thailand, 11th in Australia and 13th in Japan. His best result of the year in qualifying, P6, that must perhaps mean something for him today.
Yeah, I mean, like this track, I think it suits all the Yamahas, and I mean all the Hondas and the Yamaha. They are quite equal to me. You know, looking at the underbone races now, you know, Yamaha and Honda, they are quite equally. The speed, acceleration is about the same actually.
There was something, Joe, though, quickly just with the Honda this weekend. The Hondas have been added 5 kilograms.
Oh yeah, on the 250s. Yeah, I think they've been added 5 kilogram onto the machine. Depends on the rider and the bike. So there's not really I mean, it's gonna be. We've spoken to Angrano, the team manager, just now. So hope that everything goes well and see we have a good fight on the 250 race here.
Richard Torara there, of course. His best qualifying was at Thailand at the start of the year in 5th position. But one thing I have noticed out there, if you look at the flags flying as they come off of the track and the grid gets cleared, it seems to be very, very windy now. The wind's started to pick up. Is this the sort of circuit that's wind dependent? I mean, is it going to really play?
Yeah, I think they play a big difference here because last year when we raced here, the wind play a big thing here. You know, so some of the wind really pushed the front wheel, and made the bike to chattering and all this. So a lot of problem with all the riders here last year.
12 laps around this circuit, of course. The last few people and stands coming off the grid. Bikes are started up now. These little Asia Production 250 machines. You can see the officials there in the background trying to get everybody off, all the tyre warmers. And treaded tyres on these bikes, of course, supplied by Dunlop.
Dunlop, you know, only one make. They have no no compound, no soft compound or hard compound. So they are everybody the same compound.
A little bit tricky though is that they get four sets for the whole weekend.
Yeah,
which,
for the whole weekend.
You know, they've got to use second-hand tyres at some stage. I guess they use a set in qualifying. So, will most of them have 2 new sets for the race?
Yeah, one set new for the race 1, one set for the race 2, and one for qualifying, and one for free practice.
Well, that's okay. Then
yeah,
they've got
it should be all right.
as long as it's not a problem and they have to stop the race and restart.
Yeah.
But as they head off on that warm-up lap, I saw one of the Yamahas off of the start there have a bit of a jump. Hopefully they get it right. Let's have a quick look at the grid. Reza Danica Ren starts from pole position. Reynaldo Retakuri in second. And Anupap Samoon starts in third position. Of course, row 2, Super Mario starts from 4th. Rafa Topan Superto 5th. And Pirapong Bunalert in 6th. Ahmed Afif starts out row 3 with Richard Taraya in 8th position. Angie Setawan in 9th on the number 96 machine. Hafiz in 4th, Krichiporn in 11th, and Kanat Jamin in 12th. Andy Mohammed Fadli way down on the 5th row. Tachikorn Busaray in 14th. Awin Sanjaya in 15th position. It's row 6s for Rosie, Saimi, Kairul Ikwan Ajiz from Malaysia, of course. And then row 7 is Sathu Rajib, Anish Damadora Shetty, Suzuki Takashi from Japan in 21st. And row 8 is Chao Keilung, Cal Vietnam. And of course, rounding out in 24th position of this massive grid is Hafiza Rofa.
Yeah, I think looking at Ashwin Sanjaya, I was surprised that he's 15 on the grid.
Yeah.
Normally he will be like top 6 there. Normally, you know, I can see always disqualifying, you know, but suddenly he's like dropped to 16.
Yeah, I know, it's incredible for him. And I mean, that qualifying session didn't work out for him. There's already some dispute on the warm-up lap there. We saw one of the riders.
I think looks like Anupat. Yeah, looks like Anupat is pointing finger to somebody else.
Yeah,
there.
so if that's there's some more in the background there. If that's anything to go by, this is going to be an absolute cracker of a race.
Yeah, it's going to be close. I've been, you know, all the teams try to you know, all the riders get their mind into racing mood now.
Something we haven't talked about is the undulation here at this circuit as well. It's not flat, is it? It's definitely a bumpy circuit as they come to line up now. 12 laps. There is the man who won the Suzuki 4Hour, one of the men.
Yeah, 2 Thai teammates.
Yep, geeing themselves up there.
Thai Yamaha.
Of course, that was Pirapong Bunalert, his teammate. Both those guys mounted on the R25 Yamaha. 222 there, of course, as well.
And Ray Ratakure now is riding for there's 1XOX team now at the moment. So anyway, we're going to start the race now.
Green flag at the back. The marshals are off. The bikes are clicked into gear and they're off. They didn't hold them for long, and what a great start. Is that Anupap Samoon? No, it's not.
No, I think that is Ray Ratakure. And Anupat Samoon now is in second, I think.
Ratakure, what a great start by him. He really did do a good job at getting in. There's a couple guys wide. That was Andy Fadley. We saw him go wide in Tail and Bend. It didn't work out for him, but he pulled it off this time. So looks like he's made a few places up. But it's Anupap Samoon in completely different conditions to what he had last time out in Suzuka, where it rained for the whole 4 hours.
Yeah, but you can see now Anupat Samoon, Ratakure, and Rafiq Topan, I think he's third at the moment. So, but you can see, wow, yeah, Ratakure is really...
Ratakure's a couple wide there. This could go anyway. It always takes these guys. Is that Andy Fadley?
Yeah, I think that looks like Andy Fadley there, yeah.
Oh. What a great ride from him to head up through there. He is fearless the way that he's carving through the pack at the moment on this first lap. Absolute incredible stuff. As we head back around this first lap, which will leave 11 to go. And it is
Ratakure, I think.
Yep. That is, yeah, it's Ronaldo
Ratatouille.
Cristiano Ratatouille,
Yeah.
who leads the pack at the moment. Of course, he rides for the ONEX
1XOX team.
TKR 1XOX.
Yeah, 1XOX team.
And I'll tell you what, they will be jumping out of their skin at the moment
Again.
because they just won the Underbone 150 race and they're leading this. They're having a good weekend.
Yeah, you can see Anupat Samun really, want to overtake, try to overtake Ratatouille and try to gap himself with the group. So, what do you reckon, Steve?
Yeah, I mean it's. These guys really do have to do it. We've seen Andy Fadley prove what you can do from back in the pack, but.
But we did talk about Danica Riza. Where is Danica Riza at the moment? Oh, he's at the moment. He's 6th. Oh,
we've got a crashed rider there. One of the Yamaha men has gone down. And where is Danica Riza? We haven't mentioned it.
I think he's number 6. I think he's still 6.
Yeah,
6 at the moment. I think.
He's 6, is he? Well, he's this is the furthest down he's been in a race in a long time.
Yeah.
So, and the rest of the Astra Honda team are back there too. Super Mario's down in about 8th position at the moment. As we head through. Oh, there's
somebody's smoke coming out.
Oh, no.
That looks like Anupat Samun bike, I think. Oh yeah, Anupat Samun. I think he need to stop.
He needs to pull off.
He need to pull off.
Yeah, that's.
If not, he's gonna leave a lot of oil on the track.
Yeah.
He need to pull out from the race line.
He certainly does need to pull off. He needs to pull off, and
he need to park the bike now. If not,
yep. So Anupap Samun is
by the side.
Pulled off to the side now, which is good to see. There's definitely a lot of smoke coming out the back of that machine.
Yeah, he need to put the bike there.
But look who's in the lead. Where did he come from? Andy Fadley, what a great ride. I mean, who said the Kawasaki doesn't work around here?
It's working for Fadley at the moment.
Ratatouille is having none of it though. He's fighting right back at him at the moment. And of course, in 3rd position, we've got, who is that in 3rd? That's the 250 machine. Is that Supertoe? Rafid Topan Supertoe, I think, is up there.
Yeah, it looks like Rafik Topan, I think.
Yeah, that's a good result for him to be fighting up near the front. But here come the Hondas, and here comes Danica Arends making his way forward up through as they go over the finish line. Good news though, there's no oil on the track.
Yeah, so luckily no oil on that track at the moment, so hopefully.
Whatever it was basically just a bit of leftover stuff, but it's all over for Anupap Samun as they head off. Just as they head off, that's good job by Andy Fadley there as he leads this one. And Ratatouille's there, but look who's coming through.
Danica Riza there.
Danica Riza is making his way through, and Fadley goes wide. And Reza's right in the slipstream where he needs to be. Super Mario's there too. Remember the Astra team at Tail and Bend, I think they had a 1-2-3 finish.
Yeah,
maybe they'll be eyeing that up again.
No, but at the moment I don't see the third Honda at the moment.
He was there in the back of the pack.
Ashwin Jaya is at the moment is what, like
there he is, Sawangan Jaya just at the back, probably in about 10th or 12th. But
now we have Kawasaki, we have Honda, we have Yamaha, all the manufacturers up there.
Yep, that's what we like to see, isn't it? Absolutely. But where did Andy Fadley come from?
I think he was like, what, 3rd or 4th row just now, I'm not sure.
Yeah, pretty incredible race by him to be able to do that. I mean, last year, Murshi Koyama won this race. Anupap Samun was 2nd. Well, we know that he's not going to be in the podium in this one.
Oh, there Anupat Samun coming into the pits now.
Yeah, so it's going to be interesting to see what actually went with that bike. But I would say that definitely needs a new engine for tomorrow.
Yeah, I think so.
So a lot of smoke out there, isn't there? That's
I don't know whether it's the track or somebody's bike.
Maybe it was from Anupap Samun coming back.
Yeah,
into the pit
I think
box.
so.
But meanwhile, back out front, it's Ratatouille in 4th position. Fadley with a big moment there, loses the rear end, but manages to hold it all together. And of course, it's the 1-2-3 who's won 4 in a row.
He's in the lead now.
Yeah, what an incredible ride through the pack. He didn't get the best of starts, did Reza Danica, but I'll tell you what, he's where he likes to be, and we know what he does when he gets in front, doesn't he?
Yeah, he's capable of pulling away, I think.
He's definitely going to stretch this field out now, if he can, but what is going through Super Mario, his teammates' mind? He will not want to let him get away.
No, of course, but I think on the other hand, he will try to cover up for him and make sure that he can run away from the group.
Yeah, absolutely. Ratakuri, what a great job by him to be able to sit in that position there. Third position at the moment. He's had a great result out there. He's riding smoothly as well. So a great result there. Reza Danica Arens does a 49.6, but the best lap of the race at 49.2 from him.
49, but look at the qualifying time is 47. So it's like what, another 2 seconds in the pocket for Danica Reza.
Yeah, the thing is, I guess, is that he hasn't really had any clear track yet, has he? So
yeah, so at the moment he'll have a clear track now and see whether he can perform now.
Yeah, absolutely. Of course, Anupam Samoon is out of this one, unfortunately for him. But as they head over the line again for the third time in this race, the number 96 is there in the background as well. Angie Setawan, of course, the Yamaha KYT TJM WR Super Battery team is making his way forward to make this three-man group a group of 6.
Yeah, 6 of them now. So where is Andy Fadley? I think he's 4th at the moment.
Yeah, Fadley's just in 4th, which is a good result for him. Of course, we've got Rafik Topan,
yeah,
in
Anggi Setiawan.
5th position there. So they are doing their best to try and keep up with the Hondas. But you were saying at the start of this race that Honda have had 5 kilograms of extra weight added onto them for
on
this.
The bike. So it looks like it doesn't really bother them anything, So I think maybe it works better for them. I don't know.
Well, I will say that they haven't pulled away as much as they have in other races. I mean,
but anyway, I mean, like Danica Reza have been tested, and he can, he started 6th just now, and now he's leading, and see whether the guy behind can follow him or not. Yeah,
5 kilograms isn't a lot of weight to add to the bike. I think that these bikes have a rider and weight limit
together as a 200 kilogram for the whole package. But
so most of these guys would be under that, wouldn't they?
Under that. So they have to put a maximum of 5 kilogram onto the machine.
Wow, look at Ratakuri there. His bike is absolutely sliding around on the edge of the tyre, isn't it? Absolutely moving around so much as they head onto the start-finish straight again. Tucked in there, number 16, Super Mario in the slipstream. And Ratakuri there.
Looks like Ratakuri can follow the Hondas in front.
Yeah, this is the first time for him that he's been able to do that, isn't it?
Yeah, I mean, like the fourth guy, I think is a gap away. I think they're like 2 or 3 seconds behind.
Yeah, and I mean, this is the best result that he's had all year, of course, Ratakuri.
Ratakuri, yeah.
He's been nowhere all year, but
I think
Fadley's wide. Fadley's gone off the track, so unfortunately it looks like Fadley's going to have to work his way back from there, unless he's completely
I think he crashed.
He was upright when he went off.
Yeah, I think went into the grass. I think grass, it was raining yesterday, so it's very slippery inside, so once you go into the grass, that's it.
Well, the Manual Tech KYT racing team, unfortunately
I think something
for him,
is wrong with the bike. I think he can't really turn the bike.
It doesn't look like he can turn it.
He's not turning at the moment.
Well, meanwhile, it's these 3 out front now. This is going to be the race for the podium. But as we know in this class, it doesn't always work out that way because these 3 guys all want to get that first position.
Yeah, of course, 3 of them, all of them want to win the race. So for Ratakuri, so he's got nothing to lose. So definitely he will, try to win the race if he can.
So what about Ratakuri? Do you think that he can, obviously...
he's turning around and look behind.
We've got Yamaha versus Honda here at the moment.
Yeah, that's the only Yamaha now at the moment. We lost Andy Fadley just now.
Yep.
So it all depends on Ratakuri whether he still can follow the 2 Hondas in front.
Perhaps in the 600 class, you might say that the Honda has got a very sweet handling chassis. Is that the same in this class here?
Yeah.
Saw the Angie Sethawan go through. Of course, Rafatopan Shupito just behind him, and Pirapong Boonla was there too. There they are on track at the moment. Alwyn's there, and Richard Taraya as well. A nice little group, that one.
Yeah, and we still have 6 laps to go.
Well, the thing is that this group now is battling it for 4th position, and if one of those guys up front falls off or has a misfortune, that could be a battle for the podium.
Yeah, big battle going on here.
So it's going to be interesting to see how it plays out.
And looks like we have 4 Yamahas and 1 Honda in the group at the moment.
Yeah, Owen Sanjaya there, of course, on his Astra Racing Honda, scratching his head and wondering why he's not up with the rest of the Astra Honda team.
The 2 Astra Honda team already in front, and he's still in the 2nd group here at the moment.
They've pulled out quite a gap now, haven't they?
I think
the guys
they're like
up front.
maybe 4 seconds. Yeah, they're about 4.5 seconds.
Yeah,
ahead.
so it's they're lapping it probably about a second lap quicker than those guys.
I think they touched there. I think Anggi Setiawan and Anjay.
Yeah, it's definitely very, very close in between this group. This the number 96, of course, that is Angie Sethawan. He's leading this group. Arwin Sanjaya is trying to make his way forward and through the group. And then, of course, it's Poonalong just behind him in that would be 5th, 6th position at the moment.
Okay.
But it is now a massive gap as we see our leaders head over the start-finish line. Before this group, they've already gone over the finish line.
6 seconds.
6 seconds.
Ahead.
That is incredible, isn't it? The amount that the leading group have pulled out with still 5 laps to go. But you can see this track, it's very, very bumpy, isn't it?
Yeah, bumpy actually. Then of course there are a lot of left and right turn, left, right. So
do the riders here have to set the bike up differently? You know, like if it was a billiard smooth track, would they set it up a lot differently?
Oh yeah, I mean you can set the bike properly, you know, on this sector, but the other sector gonna give you problems. So you can't really set the whole bike 100%. You see, so maybe you can only set the bike like maybe 80% for you know, it's good here, it's not so good here, you know, but it's up to the riders and which sector he want to go fast.
Well, this is the battle back in the pack, of course, for 4th, 5th, 6th, 7th and 8th position. But as we said, there's still 5 laps to go, so who knows what's going to happen up front. It's Reza who leads at the moment with Super Mario in 2nd and Ray Rakaturi in 3rd position. We've got a faller. That's number 81. That's Anish Damadrashetty has gone down, unfortunately, on his Honda. Look at that. That's unfortunate for him. That's a really just lost edge grip.
I think that's what you call a tank slapper, is it?
A tank slapper, yeah. So Anish goes down in that one.
Yeah, this is the Indian rider from India.
Oh, that's unfortunate for him.
Yeah.
Of course, the Idemitsu team from India, with a couple of Indian riders as well, competing in this class this weekend. The other rider out there is Sethu Rajiv.
Sethu Rajiv, one of the normally he raced a couple of times, a couple of years here in the Asia race here.
It looks like Ratakori is falling off the back of the 2 Hondas now as well. He's just lost about 1.5 second gap there, I'd say that is.
Yeah, it looks like they're pulling away from Ray Ratakori. Maybe like 1.5 seconds?
Yeah, something like that.
Yeah, I think so.
But the one thing that hasn't changed is that Reza has led and Super Mario hasn't been able to get past him at this point. There's Owen Sanjaya, of course. He's made his way to the front of that group now. Work to be done for him. What will Super Mario do? When will he strike? 4 laps to go. It's getting to crunch time.
I think Super Mario is just follow Danica Riza, just see any weakness, you know. So on the machine or on the corners that he's capable of taking him in the last lap.
Angie Sethawan there. We just saw Pirapon Boonalert as well in that group. Rafatopan Shupito is there too. They're all vying for it, and there's a lot of guys moving all over the place there. Big move under brakes there by Rafatopan, and he's made a spot up there. you can't be back in that final position. Oh, one of them's dropped right off the back there now.
I think it's Anggi Setiawan. I think he's slowing down behind. So.
Oh, that's disappointing because he was really strong throughout this race. Look at the amount of slide. That is incredible. The edge grip now. These tyres must really be feeling the pinch.
The heats, you know, and the heat, and of course the tyre wear is important. So we have 4 more laps to go. So.
Yeah, that is something that we haven't really talked about too much, is it? It is quite hot out there at the moment. It was reputedly going to be 37 degrees. I don't know if it quite reached 37, but it's still very, very hot out there. And you can see whenever anybody's got any lean angle and tries to use the edge grip of these tyres, they just goes away.
Yeah, it just goes away. Wear off very straight away, you know, after maybe 4 or 5 laps, the thing getting slower and slower. You can see the lap times. But looking at Danica Riza time is very consistent, the lap times.
Yeah, of course, Super Mario leads at the moment, though. Super Mario has gone past, and you can see that for the first time in a long, long time, Super Mario thinks he's got something in the bag to take to his teammates. What will the man on 1, 2, 3 think about that?
Yeah, I think you can see Super Mario is pushing really hard now. You can see he's sliding around just now.
What will the team manager down at Astra Honda think about that?
No, I don't think there will be any team orders. You know, maybe the team managers anybody can win the race.
Well, absolutely, but there's certainly a lot of pressure on that when you've got 2 of your guys out there. Of course, one's been dominant over the last couple of meetings. Super Mario thinks it's his time to shine in the sun, and he thinks that India might be the place to do it.
Yeah, it might be the place for him to win the race.
Looking at his times, 48.5, 48.5, 49.1, he's been able to just eke out an ever so slight gap.
I think not maybe half an inch of, maybe half a rim.
Yeah, not a lot really.
Yeah.
There's not a lot in that.
Yeah.
If it got up to about a second, look at the movement there of Super Mario. Astra Honda, you've got to say they've prepared 2 perfect bikes here, haven't they?
I think they have 2 perfect bikes, but I don't know why. Arvind Sanjaya's bike, I'm not sure they're having the same setting on all the bikes. What do you reckon?
Well, I think it's generally that final setting is up to
the riders to decide. Yeah,
of course, there's the Yamaha of Renato Cristiano Ratakuri. I think he's settled for 3rd position at the moment, which would make a pretty good start to the day for the one XOX team. So pretty impressive stuff. With 2 laps to go now, we're getting down to crunch time, and it's going to be a Honda crunch up the front.
Honda crunch is within Super Mario and Danny Riza Danica.
Of course, Hafiz is back in 10th position, Sayami in 14th, Setu in 15th, Chow in 18th, Afif, Anish, and of course Andy Fadley, who's out of this one. But things are really starting to heat up now with 2 laps to go. And the guys are about to start putting it on the limit, using all the edge grip that they've got. And this is a track where you need edge grip, don't you?
Yeah, so you can see Danica Riza coming back on to Super Mario at the moment.
Yeah, I mean, surely he's just going to weigh him up and attack him on the final lap, isn't he?
Yeah, I think so. He's playing something. Oh, you can see. Oh,
that was wide, but he pulls it off. What's a great move there. Incredible.
By Perapong. I think by Perapong.
Yeah, Perapong there sits in 4th position at the moment. A 5-second gap. Not much chance of getting 3rd, but he can definitely try and get that 5th position. But he's going to have to work hard for it because Owen Sanjaya sits right behind him, and he will not be happy being there. Behind those guys is another big bunch of riders. The leaders have just headed onto the last lap now. They've already headed into the first sector of this circuit there. Massive battle on now for 4th, 5th and 6th places here. That looks like Supito trying to make his way. Rafinto, but Supito trying to make his way up the inside there as well on the number 250 machine there. And he's just gone past Owen Sanjaya. More movement there from the back of the Yamaha.
It looks like Super Mario stayed in front.
Yeah, but what's next? Here he goes, here he goes.
Danica Riza.
Danica Riza up the inside, nice and smooth, holds it. And I'll tell you what, Danica Riza is looking very, very smooth, isn't he, compared to the number 16 machine behind him?
Yeah, Super Mario is moving a lot, moving around on the tyres, I think, the tyre wear.
Yeah, it looks like he's definitely losing a lot more rear grip. I think that Reza Danica is just so smooth on the throttle,
yeah,
isn't he? Look at the different lines. Yeah. And not much left in this one as they head back down towards the final stadium section of this circuit. On the number 123 machine, it's Reza Danica. There's still plenty of opportunity, though, for Super Mario to do something about this. What about this man, though? He's going to have...
I think he's going to cruise back third place. You know, he'll be happy.
Dream result up the inside. It's an overtake there.
Right, I think Rafiq Topan, I think.
Yeah, that was Rafa Topan who's made his way up into 4th position. A good result by him. But it's this man, Reza Danica. He's pulled a gap on Super Mario now. There's more than the bike length in it. I don't think that Super Mario has got anything left in the tank.
Yeah, I think the race looks like Danica Reza are going to win the race for
and
sure.
As he comes over the line now, and he's sucked into the slipstream, he stands up and he takes 5 in a row for Team Astra Honda, and that man there, Reza Danica. What a ball! There's some
somebody crashed.
Big crash off the final line, but the rider's okay.
I think it's Perapong, I think.
Yeah, I didn't quite see which Yamaha that was, but we know that it was one Yamaha there, and let's hope that that rider's okay. But what an end to the race. That was an incredible end to that race, and it was Reza Danica, of course, who took the win from Super Mario with the man on the 1XOX TKKR racing team. And what a dream weekend there, having Renato Cristiano Ratakuri. What a weekend for him. It's and that team getting that 3rd position. And I still can't quite see the number of that bike.
Yeah, I'm not sure who's...
Can't quite see who that was who didn't finish. Is it Pirapong?
Yeah, it looks like Pirapong, yeah.
Oh, that is so unfortunate that for him, he was on for a pretty good result there. But what about it? Reza Danica Arens takes 5 in a row for Astra Honda. Incredible stuff. Super Mario, good result for him too. 16th position, the number 16 gets 2nd, but... You know, is he going to be happy with that?
Yeah, I think going to be happy because yeah, you can see. I think they're going to show the crash here again. So yeah, he was pushed out by somebody else
pushed a little bit wide there. 2 riders off track, and Pirapong.
I think that is his. If I'm not mistaken, it looks like his teammate.
Oh, we don't want that.
Yeah,
it could have been.
Happened.
it could have been. So let's hope that wasn't.
But anyway, he's standing up. He looks okay.
Yeah, let's hope that that's not the case. But I think he had a bit of a lay down there. I think he was a little bit distraught
and disappointed. Of all the guys, you know, he's your own teammate.
You can see, not that it's affecting anything. It's off the track, but you can see we had that rain overnight. And you know what? I reckon if you look at those puddles, is that wind?
No, I think wind with water.
Looks like a little bit of
yeah.
Well, the wind's there. There's the results, of course. Reza Danica Arens takes the win. Super Mario in 2nd. Ratakuri, a good result for him in 3rd. Rafa Topone Superto in 4th. Owen Sanjaya, then it's Tachiko Busaro. We didn't mention him too much, but what a great result for him. Hazif Asman in 7th. Richard Taraya in 8th. Angie Setawan takes 9th. And Ferozi takes that 10th position. Most of those guys are on Yamahas, of course. 11th was Karul Ewan Ajiz, Hafiza Rofa, the Indian, of course, Sethu Rajiv in 13th, Daniel Sayami, Suzuki Takashi in 15th, Cal Vietnam in 16th, Chao Kelung in 17th, Hamid Afif Amaran in 18th. Pirapong Boonlur, of course, crashed on that last corner, unfortunately for him. Ainish Damorashetty finishes out 20th. Andy Mohammed Fadli, another non-finisher, as was Anna Samoon, who had that engine failure. Krichiporn went out early, as did Kanatat Jaiman. So there was a few non-finishers in that one.
Yeah, a couple of guys finished, and some bike problem and some crash. So that's racing.
This track seems to be very aggressive. You know, either you get to the end or you don't.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like there's no in between.
Yeah, because some of the riders been telling me, you know, because of the rain yesterday, you can't really take the risk coming up from the corners where you touch the grass and really slippery, and then that's make you fly off, you know. So it can be dangerous for all the riders.
I guess the bumps, they play a part of that too, don't they? I mean, like,
Yeah.
but with it being so bumpy, you have to put so much trust in the front end.
Yeah, trust the front end, and the bump definitely make the bike go different line that you want to go, you know, and that's why you got to go in differently sometimes.
Just looking from our spot, we can see that Pirabung is walking back across the track, so he's okay at the moment, which is really, really good to see. That was an incredible race, but good for him to see. So that is fantastic that he's making his way back. Everybody there in the podium, a lot of Astra Honda team people there. Right, and we're going to head down to Wei Ling, and she's with our winners.
Here in the 250 class, Ray Ratukore. Share with us, how was it handling race 1 today?
Now, I say thank you to my team, 3KR, Restek, Coleon, and then my family in Indonesia already support me. This race, difficult race for me because number one, number two rider Honda very fast. I try my best for this race. Thank you very much for our sponsor in Indonesia. Pertama-tama saya ucapkan puji Tuhan buat podium hari ini. Saya bekerja keras dari lap pertama hingga finish. Tak lupa saya ucapkan terima kasih juga buat sponsor, buat mekanik yang telah mendukung, terutama buat Yamaha Indonesia dan 3KR Team yang mempercayai saya untuk balap sini. Terima kasih buat family.
Congratulations, man. Coming in second place today is Mario Suryo Aji from Astra Honda Racing Team. Mario, of course, you are still hunting for your very first win, but a very good second place podium finish today.
First, I want to say thank you for my family, my team, and crew mechanical sponsor. Today was a good race for me, and in first lap, bad start, so I try to more push in first lap or second lap. So in third lap, I already in second position until finish. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Mario.
This for Indonesia Independent Day. Terima kasih untuk Indonesia atas supportnya. Ini untuk Hari Kemerdekaan untuk Indonesia.
Thank you so much, Mario. And picking up his 5th win in a row, of course, is our current championship leader, Reza Danica Aris. Reza, congratulations, extending your lead here in round 4. Not the best start, but you made it work towards the end of the race.
Yeah, first I say thanks God, thanks to my family, my team, Idemitsu Astra Honda Racing Team, also my mechanic. Give me great job for this weekend. During the race, I can maintain every lap, can fighting with another rider in the beginning of the lap, but finally I can make a gap with Mario, my teammate, and in the last lap, I try passing on the straight, and finally I can. And thank you. And also, I will say Happy Independence Day to Indonesia. Terima kasih kepada semua yang mendukung saya dan yang telah mendoakan saya. Pada seri kali ini saya bisa mendapatkan juara lagi. Terima kasih. Dan juga saya mengucapkan selamat Hari Kemerdekaan untuk Indonesia. Semoga semakin sejahtera. Terima kasih.
Thank you so much, Reza. And guys, stay tuned for the podium ceremony coming up next.
Well, it's always good to hear from our winners, and they say winners are grinners, and the man with the biggest smile of all is that man, Reza Danica Aris, who's just taken not 1, not 2, not 3, not 4, but 5 victories now in a row. And there he is, of course, with our Asia Production 250 highlights. Everyone's happy at this stage, aren't they?
Yeah, but the only thing worried for them is how to beat Danica Reza at the moment.
Yeah, absolutely. But I think there was a sigh of a relief when he wasn't anywhere to be seen at the start of this race. But what about that start from Andy Fadley on the Kawasaki? Starting from 11th on the grid, he came through the pack and he pretty much within a couple of laps rode his way on the inside and around the outside of the group to put himself up into contention with Ratakuri up there in the lead. And there he is. He rode his way from 11th into 3rd position. Ratakuri having a great weekend, but that man who promised so much on the number 500 Yamaha wasn't to be, was it?
The blown engine. Yeah, so I think that the team needs to do a lot of work tonight.
Yeah, that's definitely a lot of work for him to get that bike back up. But meanwhile, Reza Danica Renz was making his way through the pack, and he had a passenger on board too, didn't he? Super Mario was there on the number 16 Astra Honda. The Astra Hondas weaving their way through the pack. There was one point where we thought there was smoke on the track, but the man in front who was causing the smoke was at number 108, getting wild and out of shape, Andy Fadley, and that was when the Astra Hondas took to the front. But Andy Fadley at that point thought, you know what, I'm not going to let that bother me. But one man that did bother him, Ratakuri, who made his way through into 3rd position. Super Mario thought, you know what, I'm feeling good, I'm going to sit in behind the man who leads in the 1-2-3 machine and take it easy for a bit. And of course our winner, Reza Danica Renz, thought, you know what, that's okay, you can sit there. Super Mario thought it was going to be time to pounce at any time soon, because nobody wants to finish second like he has for 4 times in a row. They headed over the line, of course, and then there was a massive battle back in the pack as well. It was great to see guys like Angie Setawan there. There was Pirabong there as well, having a good dice in that group. And there was also Arwin Sanjaya there, just sitting in 5th position at the moment. Not where he wanted to be when you consider that his teammates were up near the front of the race. But look at that moment there. That was number 81. Anish went down. And that's when things started to go pear-shaped for quite a few of the guys. And it always is at this point of the race where people really start to get serious. Super Mario took the lead and he gave it everything he did, but it was obvious from where we were sitting that he was having a lot more movement from the rear than that man there. The number 222, of course, Ratakuri decided, you know what, I'm not going to beat those guys, I'm going to take 3rd if I can, and he settled on that. But back in the pack, as we headed through, heading towards the back, there was a massive build-up of riders who really wanted to get that final 4th position. On the last lap, though, this man came through. Reza Danica Renz took the victory again, making 5 in a row from him. And although Super Mario got 2nd, you've got to say, is he happy?
Yeah, I think he's happy, you know. But anyway, I think for him, he really want to win the race. But 2nd is good.
Let's head down to the podium. And of course, there are our riders on the podium there. You can see them. And what a result for the 1XOX team.
Yeah, he was imported from Indonesia to ride for the 1XOX team.
Let's pause for the national anthem. Well, there you have it, our winners, and what a great result for those guys to be up there. But surely that man who won Residanica Renz, he's won 5 in a row now, and Astra team, I mean, what a brilliant result they've had in this class.
Well, what can I say about Danica Ahrens?
And of course, there's a man handing out the trophies that you know well, Mr.
Candy Chan.
Candy Chan there. What a great result for him to be up there. Of course, we've had FIM members handing out the trophies this week, and well deserved. So it's a really great thing to see. And that man who's going to have to build himself a new trophy shelf when he gets home is, of course, got
manager.
Another one to put in the bag.
Yeah, team manager Angono there.
There are your winners, of course, Residanica Renz, Mario Suryoaji, and Ronaldo Ratakuri on the 1XOXT Double KR racing team, and what a weekend they're having.
Yeah, they won the 150s and podium for the 250s.
Yeah, absolutely, and there the flags are coming out as well. And here are the points for the 250 class. Residanica Renz leads the way with Mario Suryoaji in second position, and Apub Samoon in third. A bad day for him, unfortunately. Awin Sanjaya in fourth. Muklada, who's not here this weekend, in fifth. Rafat Topen Supito in sixth. And Mohammed Fadley, who didn't finish as well. Neither did Pirapon Bunalert in eighth. Angie Setawan in ninth, who had a good ride. Ahmed Afif Amaran in 10th position. Krichiporn in 11th. Ronaldo Ratakuri, who had a great result today, in 12th. Kanatat Jaiman in 13th, Ferozi 14th, Richard Taraya, Hafiz Azman, Akito Narita, Kairul Irkuran, Tachikorn Busarai, Hazifa Rofa in 20th position on his Yamaha. So a great standing of results, and what we'll do is we'll have a break and then we will be back with the big boys.
Station take time to cut. Yeah. So next time we get separate.
Well, that was a great look at what happened at Suzuka last time out. And it takes all sorts of different countries and all sorts of different teams to make it. And one team that is actually born in India, the Idemitsu Honda team, is here this weekend. And we thought we'd dedicate a piece to them and let them tell us about what it's like to be involved in the championship and what it is that they actually want to do. Let's go down to Honda.
A few years ago when I went to Spain as a part of CEV, that's when I understood the key aspect of racing is not just the rider but the technician. Predominantly in India, most of the technicians are mechanics or mechanics own shop as their regular job, not engineers, which we still lack. Again, the mechanics also come with a lot of passion because they have to work with the riders with a similar mindset. So we do identify technicians who have this passion to work in a racing environment because it's totally different from a regular technician job. So we identify them, and for the last 2 to 3 years now, along with Honda, we've been trying to develop technicians. Because we know they are the backbone of the whole system. We understand that, and going forward we want to develop more technicians. We are looking for more technicians from the rural areas where we can take them, nurture them, teach them what racing methodology is, how to work in an under pressure environment, a sporting environment. So that's what we work in the ARC camp with the T-Pro. So it's been a great success for us, from the ADC days rather. From ADC days till now, the technicians are evolved. They have actually caught up with the way they set up things, the way they approach setup of a motorcycle, working with the riders, understanding what the rider wants, taking the feedback. So there's been a great knowledge transfer in this area. So I think technicians are going more than riders. Technicians working with the technicians is going to be a key aspect for racing.
Well, we're very grateful to have the Idemitsu Honda team in the paddock. It's a fantastic story that they've got, and the way that they want to do that. Just look at that just quickly before the 600 race starts. There's a bit of rain falling at the moment, but first of all, let's have a recap of qualifying.
That cost
that one there, that was of course a big crash as well. There was lots of crashes as people started to try and come to grips with this machine. And if Farid Izzedir was on his way, of course number 24 Decker Kreisart there is doing a good job out there as well. And they were all keeping their eye on Anthony West, though, the man that leads the championship, of course. But Anthony has never been at this circuit before, so they thought that they might have a bit of an advantage. But Desha Kreisart did a good job at putting it in 4th position. Zakwan Zaidi, fresh from the Suzuka 8 Hours, where he finished 7th. He rode a good ride as well.
Yeah, a good ride for him. And actually, to me, Steve, I think this track, riding a 600, fitness is the most important thing, I think, of all.
Yeah, absolutely. And of course, the number 634 machine, Koyama, Tomoyoshi Koyama from Japan, he put in a brilliant lap at 140.6, which was under the lap record when he briefly led the qualifying session for a second there. But it was this man on the number 13 machine, of course, Anthony West, who proved to the rest that he wants to win this championship.
Of course, he wants to win than anybody else. But you can see he's really trying hard, riding the new R6 there.
Yeah, I mean, it's absolutely incredible that he's out there and he's able to get that pole position. Look how happy he is. you normally don't see him as happy as that, but especially before a race. But Anthony West, you know what? He's going to be a good one to do. And what we're going to do now is have a quick look at this track, 3.7 kilometres long at 12 corners. It's going to be a tough one, but I'll tell you what, let's go to Wei Ling and she can ask our riders about it.
All right, thank you, Steve and Meng Heng. I am down here on the grid and rain has started to pour, starting from pole position. His very first race here in India and West. So we had two very hot races early on, but right now things are taking a turn for you guys in the 600. Any thoughts?
Yeah, right now I don't know what to think. It's just as we exit the pit lane to do our sighting lap, it's started to rain quite heavily on the back section of the track, so it's going to be a bit of a risky race. This track is not easy. There's a lot of bumps, so I can't imagine what it's like with a bit of wet on there and slick tyres. It's going to be risky, so we just have to try and finish in a best position we possibly can. See what happens with this weather. I hope the sun comes back.
All right, have a safe race, Wes. And not just the rain, the wind is also getting stronger here down on the grid, and Tomoyoshi Koyama will be starting from the middle front row. Koyama, the weather turning immediately right at the start of the race for the 600. Did you and your team talk about strategy before this?
Yes, so difficult condition now because now start to rain, but okay. Still, track temperature very high. If you stop the rain, okay, possible to ride. But now very difficult situation. Okay, but for the race BBC.
All right, thank you so much, Koyama, and all the best. And completing the front row is Koyama's fellow teammate, Zakwan Zaidi. So Zakwan, of course, tricky conditions, as I just spoke to Ann West and also Koyama. They are also just keeping in mind the condition. How about yourself?
Difficult to say, but I try for sure. I try to focus on this condition because I'm not sure. Sometimes change, but we try gamble, and then hopefully our strategy good, and I try to win.
All right, thank you so much, Zakwan. Have a safe ride out there. So right now, as I see, it is still 16 laps to go written down here on the grid. So we will stay tuned to find out if there are any changes in the race procedure. Back to Steve and Meng Heng in the studio.
Thank you very much, Wei Ling. It's good to have that information about what's going on down there on the grid. There's a few worried faces there. I know that I've been threatening talking about rain, but you say that you've actually seen it now.
Yeah, the rain is coming down. I think some other parts of the track here, but it really depends. You can see all the teams now getting the rain tires ready, and well, you can see people bringing out all the rain tires. So hopefully we don't have to use the rain tire.
When you look at that shot there from our drone, it doesn't look too wet. So I think it'd be a mistake to go on the wet weather tires.
You can see on the fairings, on the bubble, there's a drip of rainwater on the fairings there, on the windscreen.
Decha Kreisart starts from the second row of the grid. Good result for him.
Yeah, you can see he really concentrating, and we'll see how he goes.
Well, how does he normally go in these tricky conditions? Is he a rider that can perform well when with a bit of water around?
I think for all the Asian riders, they can ride in the rain or wet. I think in the rain it should be no problem for all the Asian riders here.
Yeah, okay. Going to be interesting to see. And if Farid is done, good to see him qualifying in fifth. That's his best qualifying result in quite a while. The team are pretty happy with him there at the moment as well. The Hondas seem to be the bike to be on around here too. They seem to be pretty coping with the bumps over race distance.
Yeah, looking at qualifying this morning, I was looking at Tomoyoshi Koyama, and Taiga Hada, and he's the one to look out. He done really well last year. He was even leading the race when he was here during the Chennai round here.
Yeah, well, that's going to be good to see. That probably bodes well for him too, so he'll be able to perhaps think about that in the future and, you know, see what he can do. I'm sure that he'll be thinking, you know what, if I can just pull it off, you know, like I've done it before, I can do it again.
So we gotta keep an eye on even like a few riders here who've been doing really well, like Kevin Kubo. But Anthony West and Tomoyoshi Koyama, I think these three front grid riders, they are really, you know, capable of winning the race. But we have been talking to Fujiwara Aslan Shah, team manager, this morning, and he was saying the Kawasaki's chassis is still the same chassis as 10 years ago.
Well, yeah, he did say that, didn't he? But what's your feeling on that? Do you think that Cameron Usman's the type of guy that can like push through that?
Yeah, I think he should be able to do that, and of course, you can see Ratapong Villarod, you know, this year, new first year on the Yamaha, so he's been doing really well with the Yamaha bikes.
Yeah, he's had some pretty good results too, has Ratapong Villarod, moving over from Honda, of course, and there's a beautiful overlooking shots of the circuit. It really is a spectacular circuit to look at from overhead, isn't it?
Yeah, you can see the half track where they do the half track race there. There's the half track, and then the full track they use until the back hit back there. You know, there's the building. Yeah,
and of course we are way back at the bottom of your screen. This is heading up to the top end of the circuit there. What about Yuki Ito? I mean, he's a winner, but he's down in 9th position on the 3rd row of the grid.
Yeah, but the time is, it's really, I mean, all the times are, you know, quite close actually, except for Anthony West, who's been doing 40.5.
Yeah. I mean, that's
41.5, 1 second. But anyway, like I say, you know, all of them, if they can stick together, maybe there will be, 10 bikes will be in the group.
Yeah, absolutely. It's going to be interesting to see what happens out there. Azroy Hakim Anua, of course, only 27 points in the championship, the Masashi Bunsibu Honda team, and of course carrying that Idemitsu sponsorship as well.
Yeah, I think this is a learning year for Azroy on the 600.
And I'm sure that he's got his fingers crossed. Sometimes if you get tricky conditions, it can help a rider like him. You know, if the grip's not exactly as it should be. Ahmad Yudhishthira, of course, teammate to
Aslan Shah.
Yep, to Aslan Shah. Good to see him out there. I'm sure that they've been working well together with Fujiwara to see if they can get things together. Kevin Kubo.
Yeah, one of the riders to watch out for this track. He's very fast here last year.
Really? Yeah, well, that's going to be interesting to see. I mean, we know that the Yamaha is a good handling package this year. Anthony West proved that by putting his bike on pole position. And there's the overlay of the Madras Motor Racetrack. Looks rather beautiful from up here, doesn't it?
Yeah, I think we are on the which building? The 3rd building on the right? The 1st building on the right, I think.
It's been here since the late 70s, early 80s, I think.
Oh, I think the first ARC race started here in 1997.
97 was the first year.
The first race, the ARC here.
Of course, the Madras Motorsport Club, responsible for bringing it online, and everyone in Chennai that owns a motorcycle can come here for a track day or join the club. I'm sure it's well utilised.
Yeah, they have so many riders here in India.
We need to see if we can have a look at the tyres and see if
looks like everybody's still using the slick. I think look at the tyre they are using. Anthony West is using I think the hard front and the medium rear. And the first row is using the same make tyre, hard front and rear soft.
Has anyone gone for anything different? We've got Patrick Lee's used a soft rear. So he's the only man out in the field with a soft rear, yeah?
Yeah, everybody is using a hard front and a medium.
There is Westy, sitting next to those 2 Hondas on the front row of the grid there. Not so sure he's going to be able to run away with it.
West?
Yeah.
What do you reckon?
I don't think he'll run away with it. I think he'll come under a fair bit of pressure. These 600s pretty hard to handle around this tight circuit.
Yeah, we are looking at Tomoshi Koyama this morning. He really very smooth riding compared to other riders. You know, the way he...
The Japanese riders seem to have that smooth style.
Yeah, smooth style.
And I think that a smooth style at this circuit is really going to work well.
Yeah. You don't use up your tyre wear and all this, so I think it's very important.
But we will know in about half an hour because we've got 16 laps of this Madras Motorsport racetrack to come through as the teams leave the circuit. The riders are getting ready to head on their warm-up lap. Anthony West with pole position and a scintillating 140.5. Tomoyoshi Koyama in second. Zakwan Zaidi takes third with another 40.8. Good for him. The whole front row in the 1 minute 40s. Decha Kreisart, 41.3. Andy Ferreira Izadar takes fifth position. Tiger Harder in sixth. Aslan Shah Kamaruzaran, who could have done a better time than 41.4, but it was disallowed, in seventh. Rathapong Rilarot in eighth. And Yuki Ito, a winner this year, in ninth position. Azroy Hakim Anua starts row 4. Hamid Yudhistra, Kemnath Kubo. Row 5 is Amarul Havib Azmi. 14th is Kazuki Kurihara. 15th is Pusiwat Fararak. Joseph Francis out of 16th. Kazma Daniel Kazamudian in 17th. And Ifran Aridesya in 18th. 19th is Ramdan Rosley. Of course, Muhammad Ibrahim Noradin in 20th. Bukhar Mohammed in 21st, and Patrick Lee rows out the 22-strong field here and starts from row 8. As they head off on that warm-up lap, just betting those tyres in. I'm sure that there would have been a lot of guys that, due to the tyre wear here, they would have put a brand new tyre on the grid to save as many laps as possible.
Yeah, I think all of them using a brand new tyre, I think.
Yeah, so it's going to be interesting to see.
Yeah.
Of course, they'll all be bedded in now. They don't take too long to bed in, these new slicks.
It looks like raining just now, but anyway, the rain have stopped. Not quite rain, but it looks like it doesn't really rain at the moment.
It has been threatening, and I mean, look there. You can just see those spots of rain, and you can see the riders on. Yeah, so it's. Although it's a 3 kilometre circuit, the weather pattern just comes through here so crazy. The front half is dry.
Half is dry and the back is wet. So
yeah,
it's
definitely wet.
Yeah.
That's a shot from our drone. We saw the flags waving there to let us know that it's wet as well. I'll tell you what, this is going to be one interesting race.
Yeah, I don't know whether the rider's going to
What happened to Campo?
do anything regarding the tyres. I'm not sure.
Oh, I don't think so. It's going to be really difficult.
Yeah, because nobody raised the hand up and, to say anything at the moment.
The problem is that if you came in and put dry wet weather tyres on now and it didn't rain for 3 or 4 laps, the tyres would be destroyed before it did rain. But there's a couple of people coming in. I didn't quite catch.
I think it looks like Patrick. Oh, look like Anthony West. Oh no, Patrick Lee just now went in.
Yeah, where Anthony West is just making his way up to the grid on the right-hand side there. Of course, he runs the number 13 machine with the yellow wheels. The 2 Hondas next to him, the Masashi Bunsuwa Hondas. The red flag is out at the front of the grid. The green flag is waving at the back. This is going to be a hectic race. Do not miss it. The track is clear. They're under the starter's instructions. The lights are on and they're ready. And they're away for the start of the first race here in the 600 Super Sport class. And it looks like it's Tomoyoshi
Koyama had a good
start. Straight into the lead in these tricky conditions, sprinkling with rain. He has already put the hammer down.
And I think that is look like Tiger Hada, if I'm not mistaken, leading the pack down.
Yeah, it could be Tiger Hada, and you can see now the
red flag
and white flag
is out.
You can tell us what that means. Yeah, the red and white flag, of course, that means
rain flag.
The rain flag.
Yeah, the sector is rain flag.
Which is good to see. So it's warning the riders that the riders are just starting to.
Somebody crashed. I think. It looks like Yudhishthira crashed out from the race.
Yeah, Ahmed Yudhishthira, unfortunately, from the Manual Tech KYT Kawasaki Racing Team, has gone down already. Unfortunately for him, let's hope that he can pick that bike up and get going. But that's just a testament to how tricky this race is going to be. 16 laps around here. It's going to be a long, long way.
Yeah, look like I think Tiger Hada get a big gap from Tomoyoshi Koyama. I think some of them still not sure whether the track is still half wet or half dry. So some of them didn't really take the risk. You can see the gap, between first and second, third.
Yeah, absolutely. And I mean, like a guy like Anthony West has got a lot on his plate at the moment too. He's got the championship to think about. He leads that championship. So, pretty handy lead at the moment. 12 points, I think it is. So, You know, he can afford to sit back and just let the others make mistakes if mistakes are there to be had. But it is the number 23 machine, Tiger Harder. There is another theory though. You've got to keep going fast to keep the heat into the tyres.
Yeah, if not, they're going to cool down the tyres, then it could be a problem.
Tomoyoshi Koyama's up there too at the moment. Anthony West behind him. Desha Kreisart's there on the number 24 machine too.
It looks like the back sector is a bit rain. There's some few raindrops on the back there.
Yeah, you can definitely see how they're not getting the knee on the ground through here. This is where they're worried at the moment. But it's
I think that's where Yudhishthira crashed just now.
Yeah, and I don't know if these guys would have seen that either. So because Yudhishthira was back in the pack. There goes Koyama strong on the brakes. Tomoyoshi Koyama there takes over second position.
Decha is right behind him.
Yeah, Desha Kreisart doing a good job on the number 24 machine from Thailand. And I don't know about you, but I think probably a smart thing to do would just be to take it pretty easy and sit in this pack.
Maybe 1 or 2 laps. Maybe just go 1 or 2 laps, then we'll see how the track goes. Then.
Yeah. Looking at the asphalt, it's difficult to see here, but if I look out the window where we are now, it's you can definitely see the spots that are starting to wet the surface of the track. So these guys are in a real cat and mouse game out there.
They're not sure which part is really rained up there.
But one thing I do is see that guy that just went through, Anthony West.
Really close.
He is very handy. He won his first World Supersport race in Assen many years ago now, many bikes ago, and he won't mind if it's a little bit damp or wet. A few of these guys have also had the experience from the Suzuka 8-hour, which had a wet stint in it last weekend.
Yeah, and looking at the lap times, they're like 5 seconds slower than their qualifying time. They're doing 146 compared to 140. So I think they are taking easy the first 2 laps, couple of laps.
Tiger Harder still out in front at the moment. He's got a lot of pressure on him though. It's behind him is number 634 machine, of course, Tomoyoshi Koyama from the Musashi Bunsiwu Honda, putting a lot of pressure on him. It's good to see him up near the front there, but Anthony West takes another scalp and moves up into 3rd position. And if you remember last time out, Anthony got a win, and I think he'll want to get another one this time out if he can. Yeah, he got a 3rd and a win last time out in Suzuka. So, yeah, he is the Rainmaster, of course, and that is Anthony West. He's...
So who's your pick actually, Steve?
Sorry?
Who's your pick here?
My
for
pick?
600?
Well, I've got to go Anthony West in these conditions.
West.
Yeah,
okay.
Especially if it keeps spitting with rain like this, because he's smart. He'll sit there and he'll let the others do the work, which is what he's doing right now, and then he'll put the hammer down towards the last part of the race.
Okay.
But of course, we don't know what the weather's going to do. It could completely dry up and have a look out the wind. And if you look out the window now, those spots are dry.
It's gone.
So we need to keep an eye on the lap times next time through, just to see if they pick back up to around that 140, low 140 pace. No sign of Yuki Ito there. He's way down in 16th position. So not the weekend that he would have wanted. So lap time, that time through 144, so they're starting to get down 143, 142.9 for Aslan Shah.
Yeah.
The man who reckoned that his old Kawasaki was no good, fastest
fastest
man on track.
He's right behind the pack actually.
Yeah. Could this be playing in the hands of Aslan Shah? I mean, Kawasaki hasn't really performed well here in the past.
Yeah.
But with these conditions, he's had a couple of laps now to settle in. It's not a blistering pace out there at the moment. Do you think that Aslan Shah can make this gap up?
Yeah, if the guy in front, if Tiger Harder still maintain this pace, and somebody would have Koyama to pass him and try to pull away, I think the whole group will be spread up differently, I think.
Of course, Aslan Shah wasn't at Suzuka last weekend, but he was racing a superbike, a ZX10.
Yeah, last week, yeah.
Yeah, the Malaysian Superbike Championship. Yeah. So he has been getting some plenty of information there. Here we go as they head out. Great result there for Tiger Harder. He's led this one from the start. He seems to be the guy at the moment that really is setting the pace.
Yeah, setting the pace. He's doing all the work, and the guy behind just follow. And I think maybe a couple of laps later on, you can see Anthony West will try to work his way up.
Yeah, I think everybody's just
following
staying calm
at
the moment. 44 that time round, 43s.
Yeah.
Still last time round. We'll see what they do this time. As they head through. And our lap times will come up here in a minute. Starting to pick the pace up now. They're mostly into the 42s.
Yeah, 42s. Oh, now you can see, somebody crashed in front there. I think it looks
Patrick
like
Lee has gone down again. He went down in Suzuka and somehow he's crashed on the inside of the circuit.
Yeah.
It's pretty special to do that. So he's up and walking away. So it's good to see that Patrick's up and they can get that bike fixed for tomorrow. So, yeah, unfortunately for Patrick, his day's over. Koseki Kurihara sets the fastest lap of the race so far. So that will be in the 1:42s, which is basically where everybody is at the moment. So a good coup for that man at a 42 lap time that he's done. Sort of spread out somewhat and subdued somewhat to the qualifying sessions. Everyone was getting pretty crazy in qualifying, weren't they?
You can see Aslan is trying to get past Decha.
Of course, looking for a way past, and just behind Aslan is Rathbone Willerot as well. He's in that group there too.
One thing good about Koyama, you know, he's a good follower. He can really follow you, you know.
Yeah.
What sort of time you do, he can follow. But last time we used to call him the Shadow.
The Shadow?
Yeah, the Shadow. He used to shadow everybody in front, you know, he just followed.
The Shadow is in exactly the right spot at the moment, because if he can just conserve his tyres, hold it all together, he'll be the man in the box seat on the last lap. But I still think that Anthony West is just holding back a little something. 2 seconds quicker in qualifying, but I'm guessing he would have had soft tyres on for that, yeah, for qualifying?
I think so. Oh, they have soft tyres for qualifying, so that's why the lap times are different.
The guys were saying that the soft tyres were only getting about 3 laps.
4 laps, yeah, that's it. After that,
needless to say, they've all got medium rears or hard rears?
medium rear and hard front, I think. Or maybe, I'm not sure, some of the riders using different compound.
Yeah, it looks like a hard front and medium rear.
Yeah.
So that's what most of the guys are on. The only person that had a soft rear on was Patrick Lee, and he crashed on the inside of the circuit. So I think the medium was the right choice there. So good to see
everybody
them.
using the same compound.
Stretched out a little bit at the moment. Tiger Harder in first position, Koyama in second, West in third, Zakwan Zaidi, of course, in fourth position. Decha Kreisart takes fifth at the moment. Aslan is slowly working his way forward. Aslan Shah on the Kawasaki. His teammate crashed out earlier on. Rathbone Willerot's there in eighth as well.
Look like Aslan having problem to overtake Decha. You reckon? Yeah,
Well,
because I look at
I mean, it
he's
could
struggling
be.
a bit there.
It definitely could be, because, I mean, that's just a little bit too far back in the pack, isn't it?
Yeah.
The man on the number 25 Kawasaki there, really trying to find his way past. Won't be long and we'll be able to update you with the lap times.
And still the same time, they're still doing 42s.
Yeah, 42.1 from Kasowitz to the rack.
Except for Kasman Daniel doing a 41.6.
Wow, 41.6, that's a pretty impressive lap time, isn't it?
Yeah.
Kasman Daniel, the yellow flag.
Aslan take out, I think Aslan take out Decha there.
A couple of guys have gone down there. That's
I think Aslan and Decha.
Aslan Shah and Decha. Kreisart. Oh, that's unfortunate. And there's another rider there too that's gone down.
Yeah, Aslan walking to
looks like he's
to Decha.
Yeah, as we have a look at these.
Aslan. Yeah, Aslan tried to take Decha there.
He went up the inside, just lost the front. We said earlier he was having trouble. He's hit the tyre wall there, and I think he's impacted his shoulder there, unfortunately. So Decha Kreisart.
Both the riders are
looks like he's moving his arm. That's a good sign. So let's hope that Decha Kreisart is okay and they can move those bikes and clear them. Meanwhile, back at the front, Anthony West is looking like he's going to make a move up the inside. Not yet. He's still sitting there in third position.
Yeah, he's still got 10 more laps to go, Steve. I think I got plenty of time.
Oh, absolutely. It's definitely going to be a long race here. Toyga is doing all the hard work out front.
Oh, there you go. There you go. Anthony West in front of Tomoyashi Koyama.
Yeah, he managed to pull it back too and blocked past Koyama there. So he's moved his way up into second now. And he sits right behind Toyga, who will, when he looks at his lap board, find out that he's got a new guy behind him.
Yeah.
Most of these guys will still have pit boards out on the pit wall, won't they?
Yeah, all of them still having all the pit boards there.
What sort of information do they show on those pit boards?
Plus, maybe plus 0.5 second ahead, or, everybody they're still waving the yellow flag there.
Yeah, I think, just for clearing up that
clearing out the crash. I think Udis is still there.
Toyga Hara's way down in 13th position in the championship at the moment. So he got some, he hasn't had the best of runs this year. He needs this result, doesn't he? He really does need to show what he's made of.
Yeah, we didn't see Ratapong at the moment. I think Ratapong is at the moment 6 behind this group. Yeah, you can see he's coming up. I don't know what sort of time Ratapong is doing.
Well, we're going to keep an eye on him. Look at the gap now. I think Anthony West has pulled a bit of a gap out there. Westy's got the line up the inside and he's made his way into the lead of the race. Anthony West's brilliant move by him. You can tell when he means business. He takes his foot off the peg and that's his signature. Right, I'm going for it.
Okay.
Now I'm going to give it 100% throttle.
Yeah.
It's just a matter of what the other guys can do. You said Koyama, the shadow, was a good follower.
Yeah.
Well, he's got something to follow now. Yeah, absolutely.
We're going to test him now. But at the moment, he's like, what, 4th behind Takahata.
Yeah.
Behind Zakwan, I think. Yeah, he's behind Zakwan.
Yeah, so it's West, Hara, Koyama, Zakwan's there. Zakwan's moved up into third place. And look at that. What a great move by Toyga Hara. Straight back past Anthony West.
And Zakwan.
Anthony, what's... Anthony's... is something wrong with Anthony West? He's going back through the pack.
I think he takes things too easy at the moment, I think.
Well, perhaps the only thing I can think of is it started to rain at some point on the circuit
Maybe,
again.
I'm not sure, but looking at the track, it still looks clear.
I mean, he's lost like a 1.5 seconds in
0.5 or maybe a second.
Yeah, so all that hard work for Anthony West, he's got to go do it again now, unfortunately for him.
And of course, Zakwan is the one. You want to pass him. It's a bit hard.
Zakwan Zaidi, who's in second position now on that 21 machine, of course.
Tiger Hara rode very well for this race. Yeah.
Yeah, of course. We should mention that it's the Idemitsu's team home track. I don't know if that means that he does a lot of laps here or not,
I'm
but
not sure.
I bet
ask him.
I bet the team does. So and the Honda's also a very nimble bike.
Yeah, you can see the way they turn to turn. Really smooth.
Yeah, and probably the most absorption from the chassis as well. If the Kawasaki's the fastest or the Yamaha's the fastest, the Honda's draw card is the fact that it handles bumps well, and that's showing out here today.
And I'm surprising is that all of them still doing 42s except for Kasma Daniel. He's the only one doing 41 and he's closing up the gap in this group. So you ever got to keep an eye on Kasma Daniel too. All
right, well, what's the gap to...
I think
2.6.
Yeah, 2.6 seconds.
All right, we'll keep an eye on that gap at 2.6 to Kasma Daniel. It's there he is in the back of that group there. And it's less than that to this front group, isn't it? In reality.
I think this group, they're fighting among themselves, and Kasma Daniel alone there. He's easy to make the time. There you can see he's right behind the group. he's coming up. I think he's like what 0.3 or 0.4 seconds faster than them every lap.
I'll tell you who else is doing a good job. Azroy Hakimanua is in that leading group as well. So great job by him in these tricky circumstances to be up there. But it's still the number 23 Tiger Harder out the front. Anthony West gets that foot off the peg, and I think he's just moved back into second position.
Second place. Yeah,
there's the 127 Kasma Daniel that we were talking about on the Hong Leong Yamaha Malaysia. Of course, they were one of the teams that competed in the Suzuka for our last weekend.
But it's up to Kasma. You can catch them, but
did you see that?
Very close. They're gonna hit
Andy
the rear tire of
yeah, he
Azroy,
did. That was pretty impressive, wasn't it?
Yeah,
but he managed
really
to stay on. But Anthony West back in second position now with 7 laps to go. Let's have a look. Does he touch? He's right on the inside there.
Yeah,
he does touch it. That was so lucky for the number 27 machine, Andy Farid, to get away with that one. Normally, you do not get away with moves like that.
Yeah, it looked like a bumper bike like that, no?
Yeah, so unfortunately for him, he's got to, you know, he was that close, but he's still got to try and get past.
Yeah.
So, meanwhile, Tiger Harder out front, Anthony West in second, Zakwan Zaidi in third.
Yeah, Anthony West coming.
Westy's through, but he's a bit wide.
What do you reckon? You think Harder will come back to him?
Well, definitely. He did it once before, and I'm sure he's going to do it again. But there's a trio of Hondas there now.
Yeah.
So it's going to be interesting to see. There's Zakwan and Koyama as well. They all want to have their shot at glory, and it seems to be Anthony West, the man that's leading the championship at the moment and this race, that they all have to beat. And if anybody can do it, I think it's going to be this man, Tiger
Harder. Yeah.
He's really been really on song. But I'll tell you what, if you have a look at the back of that group now,
Kasma Daniel is there.
Yeah.
Yeah. But the thing is now you can catch them, but can you overtake them? How are you going to pass them?
Well,
that's the problem.
He hasn't got many laps to do it. He's got
6 laps more to go.
Yeah, 6 to go. So if he passes 1 per lap, which is a lot,
yeah.
You know, he'll be somewhere near the front.
Yeah.
So we're going to have to keep an eye on that blue machine, the number 127, of course, of Kasma Daniel. He's probably pretty fresh. He would have done a lot of riding last weekend. A tear off there, just going off to the side of the circuit.
Yeah, we have the front leader Yamaha and the rear of the crowd is Yamaha. Both Yamaha got 2 Yamahas and.
It's a Yamaha sandwich.
Yeah.
And the Honda meet in the middle of the sandwich. I'm sure that's not where they want to be. This is a track that Honda's always performed well at. Tiger Harder up the inside. Can he do it? He's got through. That's a brave move by Tiger Harder from Japan, of course. A brilliant move by him. And he puts himself back into that number 1 position, that all-important first place track position at the moment. And mentally, Anthony West is thinking, well, perhaps I'm not as strong as I thought I was.
Well, look at the lap times. They're all still doing 42s.
Yeah, I mean, the lap times aren't anywhere near what they were doing in qualifying, but, you know, it's pretty tricky conditions out there. We've already seen a couple of guys go down due to those conditions.
Yeah.
You get a little bit offline, and you don't want that to happen.
Yeah, so you can see Koyama is right behind Anthony West now.
Yeah, Koyama's doing a really good job there.
Yeah.
He's looking for a way past by the look of it, just trying a couple of different lines.
But I think this track, they don't have really many places to pass, to overtake.
It's difficult to
pass.
pass, yeah.
Only, I think, maybe 1 or 2 places that you can really overtake.
Well, we'll see where Kasma Daniel is. He needed to pass 1 person. He hasn't done it yet.
Nah, not yet.
So he's still at the back of that pack on the number 127 machine. Of course, the Hong Leong Yamaha from Malaysia. And Tiger Harder is doing a great job out front there, keeping Anthony West honest. Anthony, of course, has done a lot of racing around the world. He's raced in MotoGP, he's races in World Supersport, so he's pretty much on a bike every weekend. He actually raced at the Suzuka 8-hour too, didn't he? But didn't have a lot of luck there. Something went wrong early on.
Yeah, but also for Honda, they haven't won a race since the started of the season, you know, so Honda are very keen, really want to win the race here.
So it's Harder West, Koyama, Zakwan Zaidi, Andy is there too, Azroy, Kazma and Ito is there. 4 laps to go. Things are going to get serious now, especially with a group like this. I think that the end of this race is going to be rather fun to watch.
Yeah, going to be fun, especially this corner, the last one.
Zakwan Zaidi, of course, fresh from 7th place in Suzuka 8 Hour. That's nothing to be sneezed at.
Yeah.
A good result by him. And he'll want to show what he can do here in the Asian Road Racing Championship, I'm sure, on his 600.
Of course, this is a 600 compared to the one they ride, 1000.
I guess that's the other thing that he has to... He also does some races in the JSB as well, doesn't he? So he's always constantly going from the 1000cc machine to the 600 machine, back and forward. It's 2 different styles.
Yeah.
It sometimes can be difficult to master, but he seems to be doing a good job.
Doing it all right, yeah.
The tight group go over with 3 laps to go now. It's still Tiger Harder, but there's not much room in it. Anthony West sits in 2nd position with Zakwan Zaidi in 3rd.
And Anthony West coming back. You can see.
Well, he ran a little bit wide there. And unfortunately, the number 127 machine of Kazma Daniel
still stuck behind her.
Still on the back. So I think what you said was right. You can catch the group is one thing, but getting past is another. Especially, I think nobody wants to make a mistake, you know, with the grass and the ripple strips being a little bit damp. You know, we've seen a couple of guys going down due to that.
Went in and had a crash there, and so I think all of them take it easy at the moment. So we have 3 more laps to go, and we'll see the next lap whether Tiger Harder will try to do something onto Anthony West.
Oh, he's got to. He really does. I mean, his year so far hasn't been the best. So
looks like Anthony West have a small gap from Tiger Harder there.
Yeah, it looks to me like, I mean, look at Anthony West now. He's really starting to back it into all of these curves here at the Madras racetrack. Yeah. And he's, you know, left, right. You can see his body language change. He's
putting down, he's going 110%. See what sort of lap time he's doing.
Absolutely. It's going to be interesting to see what he does do next time through. But he's still got a group of guys behind him at the moment, though, that are giving it everything they got. Zakwan Zaidi, last lap round was 42.6, 0.4 slower than his best lap of the race. Well, somebody's got to do something because Anthony West has started to run away with this one. Zakwan Zaidi is saying to Tiger Harder, let me past. Zakwan Zaidi trying to find a way past now. Tiger Harder is starting to fall. We've got a fall there.
1XOX, I think that is Muzaki, if I'm not mistaken.
Not sure on the number of that one, but we'll let you know as soon as we find out. It could have been Muzaki or Amrul Hafiq.
There's Zakwan coming on Tiger Harder
there. Yeah, look at that now. Anthony West is just really starting to really stretch out that lead. It's up to 3-4 bike lengths now. He's putting everything he's got into this. He did a 42.2 last time round, as did everyone. Fastest man, though, was Andy Fred Isidar, 42.0. Well, that's his best lap of the race so far. As they head through, Westy, look at the sideways action there from
Andy.
Yeah. Good move by him.
Good controlling.
It just shows you how these bikes, they really set them up on the front to get them to turn and tip in. Number 23 there, Tiger Harder. He's led many laps of this race. He definitely wants to be on the podium, but I'll tell you what, there's such a big group here that if he's not careful, he might not end up on the podium.
Yeah. Look like Zakwan is trying everything, trying to catch Anthony West at the moment. I think we're going for the last lap, I think. Yeah. We're going for the last lap.
Yep, heading on to the last lap now, and it's Anthony West with a handy lead. Of course, the number 21, Zakwan Zaidi, is starting to close that gap down. We just saw Yuki Ito in the background there. He's off the pace this weekend, but look at that gap being closed down now. Zakwan Zaidi is giving this lap everything he's got, and Anthony West will think he's got a gap. But I'll tell you what, Zakwan Zaidi, if he wants to become a hero, this is the lap to do it.
Yeah, looks like Anthony West have a small gap again from Zakwan Zaidi.
Zaidi's definitely very strong on the brakes, isn't he?
Yeah.
He's pretty brave. He gets that bike in, but Anthony West has responded. He's got that gap out again to 2-3 bike lengths. The rest of the group are there. Taiga Hara, he's not going to be happy. He's got the number 27 behind him as well, which is Andy Farida Izadir, who will want a podium if he can get one. Westy's bike just starting to move around a little bit as they head back down towards the start-finish line. Yeah. This is Westy's to lose now. He's really got everything on the limit there. You can just see him start to move around, but I'll tell you what.
I think he's heavy in his back now, you reckon?
Yeah, I'll tell you what, he's not out of this. Zakwan Zaidi is right there. Look at it moving around. The front starting to slide now. Number 27, of course, is right in this too. Andy Farida is in there. He's really going to try and find a way past Taiga Hara.
I think it looks like I think Anthony West going to...
Yeah, Anthony West as he heads in now to the final turn. This is going to be his to lose. He's just going to keep it tucked in under the screen. He goes, and Anthony West takes 2 in a row, extends his championship lead. What a ride from Anthony West. And Zakwan Zaidi takes second position. Taiga Hara, I think it was, in third. So what a race. We called it early on. Anthony West, what a ride he had. He sat there, and what he did was he took it easy. He made no mistakes. He let the rain settle down, and then away he went.
Yeah.
Well, that was a different race.
Exciting race.
Tomoyoshi Koyama, he had his time at the front as well. Good job by him. Tomoyoshi Koyama, really interesting to see, but Anthony West, never been here before. He wins pole position, fastest ever lap. He did a 40.5 in qualifying, blitzed the field. I mean, what do you say? I mean, he really is showing everybody here this weekend.
Yeah, he's the one. He's the one to look out for.
But Taiga Hara, he did a fabulous job.
Yeah, he start leading from the start, you know, and after that, dicing a few with Anthony West, Tomoyoshi Koyama, and Zakwan.
As did Kazma Daniel as well. He caught up. He
caught
made
up,
that.
But you can't pass anybody.
Yeah, he caught up, people, but for one reason or another, he couldn't get past. But you know, he can go back. He can talk to the crew about that.
Yeah.
And you know, hopefully, they can sort that out for tomorrow. You know, he just needs to try and make it.
I think the crew will tell him you'll get a better start tomorrow.
Yeah. There is that.
Yeah.
There is that. But he caught up to him, but he wasn't strong to get past.
Yeah. He can do the time, but catching up is easy, but passing them is a bit hard.
There is Anthony West lapping that victory up.
Happy man.
Yep. Look at him scraping his elbow on the ground for fun. Now, don't you wish you could do that? I know, I wish I could. Now, that is posing at its best. Right, we're going to head to a quick commercial, then we'll be back with our results and see our winners.
In 3, 2, 1, roll rate, upturn rate.
Yeah, it is.
read. Next audio on read. Okay. Take your time, take your time. Somebody read? Yes, that's it. Thank you, 10. Alright, okay. Roll
Welcome back to the Madras Motor Racetrack. That was a fantastic 600 race. And here are your results. Anthony West wins that one with Zakwan Zaidi in second position. Taiga Hada third. Andy Farid Izidar. What a good result for him too in fourth. Tomoyoshi Koyama looked like he could win at some point. Azaroy Hakim Anur in sixth. Kazuma Danielle caught the back of the pack in seventh. Yuki Ito moved up to eighth. Rathapong Willarot in ninth. Kasuki Kurihara gets a top 10 on his Honda, so that was a good result for him too. Amrul Hafiq Azmi in 11th. Ramdan Rosley 12th. Irfan Adiraya in 13th. Mohammed Ibrahim Noradin in 14th. Muzakir Mohammed in 15th. Kemnath Kubo. Joseph Francis, of course, Decker Kreisart, Aslan Shah, who had that crash, and also Pasawit Thitharak in 20th. Patrick Lee and Ahmed Yudhistra, who both crashed out early on. Let's head down to Wei Ling. She's with our winners.
Down here on the grid with the top 3 riders in the Supersport 600cc Race 1. Picking up his first podium here, his home race for his team. So Taiga Hada, share with us how was Race 1?
Yeah, very happy. So before race on the Thailand and Australia, Suzuka, no good race. So this race, so my team round, so India Honda first podium, so very happy. Thank you India Honda and Idemitsu, so my sponsor and my team and my family. Thank you. And 日本の皆さん応援ありがとうございました。前半戦すごい苦しいレースだったんですけど、やっとチームの地元インドで表彰台登ることできてすごく嬉しいです。明日は第2レースもあるんで、応援よろしくお願いします。
Thank you so much, Taiga. Congratulations. Coming in second place today, picking up his first podium here in India. Zakwan, of course, towards the last lap, we could see you did give it a run for Antonio West for the win. Share with us, how was your entire race 1?
Actually, very difficult. Because first out is coming tricky condition, coming rain, but maybe I just a little bit slow in the starting. But I try to manage, and then I saw Anthony West coming faster. But I try to fight, and then coming. For sure, in the last lap, I try to fight, but little bit yet because I from third place try to catch in the front. So big gap, but I try to catch up. But I'm happy in the second place, and I want to thanks to all support and to Bonsu Honda, Musashi Bonsu Honda support me and give me this opportunity. And yeah, I try my best for tomorrow. Thank you. Oh, satu lagi saya lupa nak cakap. Saya ingin ucapkan ribuan terima kasih kepada Akademi Part 1 yang selama ni telah fitness saya bertahun-tahun, dan saya alhamdulillah sampai ke sini. Dan insyaAllah untuk next race saya akan cuba menang lagi sekali. Terima kasih.
Thank you so much, Zakwan. Coming in first place today, picking up his first win in his very first race here in India. Anthony West, of course, during the start we spoke to you and you were worried and nervous about the race. However, it didn't look too bad out there. The rain did not come. So share with us how was race 1.
Yeah, definitely nervous, and the other guys weren't nervous. They just went full throttle, and I tried to, when I got to the back straight, I tried to pin it and I lost grip, and I'm like, I don't know how, maybe these guys are going to crash because they're going too fast, but they stayed on, and congratulations to them for pulling away because it made it very hard to try to fight and come back. hard track, many bumps, and it's a good experience to come into India on this track first time and win. So I'm really happy. It's good for the championship, and happy birthday to my team boss. He's getting older. He looks 35, but he's a little bit older than that. So big congratulations to him for supporting me these 3 years in Asia Championship, and happy birthday to him.
All right, thank you so much, Anthony West, and stay tuned, guys, for the podium ceremony.
Thank you very much, Wei Ling. Good to see Anthony West there. He said he was nervous, and you know what? He was. He nearly lost it there at one point in that race, didn't he? So, you know, congratulations to all of our winners in that one. But here's a recap of that 600 race. It was an amazing race, and it got off under very tricky conditions. Half the track was wet, half the track was dry. And it was Taiga Hara in second position there who thought that this was going to be his day. Tomoyoshi Koyama led early on, but then we had a couple of guys go down. That was Yudhishthira, I think, who went down on his Kawasaki on about the first or second lap of the race. Koyama there on his Honda made his way forward, but to try and hold back Taiga Hara. Now these Hondas have always performed well here, but Anthony West started to forge his way to the front. Nobody told him that you were supposed to come here and learn the track. He turned up, got pole, and started to make his way towards the front. But he wasn't as aggressive as we've seen him in the past, because it was still a little bit damp out there. Taiga Hara, of course, he was looking pretty good. And another few riders joined the fray. We saw Kazma Daniel catch up a whole lot and get onto the back of the group too on the number 127 Yamaha. At one point, it was a Yamaha...
Aslan and Decha.
That's right. That was a big crash, that was, wasn't it, when they both went down there. And yeah, it was unfortunate for those two guys that they went down at that point. But then we got back to the front of the race, and Anthony West was having more of a battle than he thought. He smoked qualifying, but Taiga Hara was really putting the pressure on him, and at some points got back past him, and look how rough it was into turn one there where he made that move too. It was a brave move. Zakwan Zaidi was in there too. He was definitely after it, looking for his way through, and I think he even touched Anthony West at one point. Westy also had a moment there. That's when he got really nervous, and unfortunately for him, he lost all that hard work that he did, had to make his way back forward, but he did it. He got back past Taiga Hara with about 3 laps to go, I think it was, and as soon as he got in front this time round, he put his head down and he started to make a little bit of ground. But Zakwan Zaidi and Taiga Hara fought back. He started to make his way through, and there's the 634 Musashi machine in the background there. What a tight group it was, wasn't it? It certainly wasn't Anthony West's from start to finish, this one.
Yeah, I mean, everybody was trying to lead, and of course, like I say, you know, Kazma Daniel can catch the group, but I can't really pass them, you see, so
we saw how hungry Zakwan Zaidi was, the way that his Honda was well out of shape heading into that corner there. When the last lap board came out, though, it was all too late, because Anthony West had that 2 to 3 bike length lead. Zakwan Zaidi did everything he could to try and chase him down, and it looked like he was closing up, but Anthony West stretched it out, and it was Anthony West's race, and that makes it 2 in a row for Westy, and his first ever victory here, which caps off an absolutely perfect weekend for him now as we head down to the weekend. He's still got another race tomorrow, but he started off with pole, and on top of that, he has got the race win. So any minute, we'll hear the national anthem. Well, what a great result for Anthony West. That was a brilliant race win for him. And of course, Mr. Ron Hogg, the promotion director of Two Wheels Motor Racing, is happily handing out the trophies here in India today. And what a fantastic way to wrap up the day here. And of course, Zaquan Zaidi, he can smile, and good reason too. He won the first, well, he finished second here today. Probably could have had a win, I would say. And of course, the Web Bike Izukuchi Racing Team Award is handed out too. So a great result. And there are your podium places: Anthony West, Zaquan Zaidi and Taiga Hada. So a great result for those guys. And if you're doing anything tomorrow, I wouldn't go too far, because they're going to be back and doing it all again, aren't they? Just a few photos to be taken now.
There's Taiga Hada home ground. That's why holding the Indian flag there.
Absolutely. Yeah. And what great respect, and what a great weekend the Idemitsu team have had here too. It's fabulous to have them as part of our championship. All of these guys. But let's have a look at the points. Anthony West leads with 111 points. Yuki Ito, 35 point lead now. 76 points for Yuki Ito. Aslan Shah in third position. Kemnath Kubo in fourth. Rathapong Willarot in fifth. Zaquan Zaidi in sixth. Yudhishthira in seventh. Andy Farid Izadar in eighth. Tomoyoshi Koyama ninth. And Taiga Hada 10th. In 11th is Azaroy Akim Anua, Dechka Kreisart in 12th, Ramdan Rosalie in 13th, Thitapong Warrakon in 14th, Kazma Daniel, who had a great ride today, in 15th, Kurihara in 16th, Irfan in 17th, Minamoto in 18th, Joseph Francis in 19th, and Koyasuke Ukuda. It rounds out that top 20. So what a fantastic day that we've had here of racing. We've had some fabulous underbone 150s, and we've also had some great 250 racing, and to top it off, a brilliant super sport race. So one thing I'll say, guys, is if you're into this motorsport, you better get back to the same back channel tomorrow, because we will be back for more. So tune in tomorrow, where you'll have the underbone 150s again, the 250s again, and of course the Super Sport 600s. Thanks for joining us, and we will catch you all tomorrow.
In 3, 2, 1, roll. We still have 2 more races, camera track. We still have Honda CBR and TVS. 6 lap only. All right. Okay.
See this? Look. We don't want that, because it stays on that all the time.
Oh, masa timing tu. Zaquan dengan Zaquan potong Hada. Next race is camera track. next race is 1600 hours, which is 5 minutes to go.
I'm just doing something. Hang on. I'm just, yeah, after. Oh, you want to do it now?
Hello, Camp 5. Camp 6, filter 2.
Mics. Did you want me to change mics?
Filter 2.
Hello and thanks for joining us for round 4 of the FIM Asia Road Racing Championships. We are over the halfway mark in what's been a very exciting year's racing. 2018 started in style. We kicked off in Thailand where the riders biffed and barged their way onto the podium in what was to be an action-packed event. It was then new territory as we went down under onto Australian soil for the first time. A new track meant new challenges for everyone. And of course, round 3 was a cracker, held at Suzuka in Japan. Every race seemed to be a photo finish. It was that close. It's India's turn now, and we are here at the Madras Motor Racetrack situated near Chennai and the Bay of Bengal. We have 3 exciting races coming your way today, starting with the Underbone 150s, then the Asia Production 250s, and rounding out with the Supersport 600s. Joining me is a man who knows this championship inside out, Meng Heng, 2 times runner-up in the Supersport class and also an ex-team manager. And then, let's not forget, we've also got... is that enough? Okay. I know he doesn't like to be called a 5. I don't want to embarrass him. Like, oh, you're a 5-time runner-up.
He's famous for it, so
Well,
Check 1, 2, 1, 2. Yes, keluar semua satu. Pick up coming to 1. Camera 1, go to track 1. Starting gate. Kim, mari bagi kat sini Kim. Oh. Check. 1, 2, 1, 2, check. Coming to cam 1. Okay. Loose super game. Coming to cam 1. 1 on, somewhere 10, coming to 10, 10 on,